You're in the fast lane.
Puck gets won by Thomas off Parayko. Suter to the corner with it. Parayko holds it in, and that'll do it. You can bring out the Zamboni. The Blues beat the Carolina Hurricanes 4-3. And one of the Canes cross-check Robert Thomas at the whistle, and Braden Shen has come in to say something about it. He's got a hold of Svechnikov and is swinging to try and get a hold of Svechnikov's face. And you better believe Braden Shen will look at Svechnikov and say, that's all right, we'll see you in November, big boy.
Let's get nasty on a Monday. It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, and Anthony Stalter. 202. Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. You just heard Chris Kerber on these airwaves, and you just heard Chris Kerber on the call Saturday night as the Blues beat the Hurricanes 4-3. A little dust up at the end of the game as well. What a performance overall by the Blues. This is a very good Carolina Hurricanes team. They're 2-2 right now, but as we know, this is a legit playoff contender there from the East, and is a team that's going to be in the thick of things when it's all said and done. But the new guys, Jamie, Carey, new guys get it done. Matthew Joseph with a goal. You had Dylan Holloway with a goal. You had performances not only out of those guys, but Broberg, both Joseph brothers. I mean, overall, the new guys carried the freight for the Blues on Saturday night in that 4-3 win.
Yeah, it was fun. I'm not going to lie. Watching the first period down between the benches, I thought the Blues were going to get mopped. I mean, Carolina was all over them. I mean, the forecheck was going, and the Blues couldn't get anything organized. They were under siege. But they only gave up one goal, which was great. Joel Hofer, again, in the net, had a good, very, very solid game for the Blues. Then cue the second period, and it was a 180. All of a sudden, the Blues are pressing. They're on their toes. They're in the Carolina end. They score 3 goals. A lot of fun to watch that. The new guys are contributing so well for this team. Now, Doug Armstrong has to be thrilled with his acquisitions because a lot of the hockey world and some of the national writers, some of our good friends over at The Athletic, not Jeremy Rutherford. No. He knows what he's talking about. But the other guys didn't think the Blues would have a team that could play the way they are right now. And Broberg has been unbelievable. I find myself every game now, I hope fans aren't getting upset, but he does so many things well that you have to talk about it. He's so solid defensively. He skates so well. He had the top speed of like 24 miles an hour last game as a 6'4" defenseman. He's making great plays. He's continuing to score points. He's got 6 games in a row now that he's got points in all 6 games. So you look at that and you're like, holy crap. Like, this changes the trajectory for this team. I don't know if anybody in that Blues front office thought that Philip Broberg would be what he is right now. And, he's just going to get better. He's going to get more experience. He's going to get smarter. He's going to learn where to be more. Like, all that veteran experience is going to come to him. He's never played a full season in the NHL yet. Mm-hmm. And this is what he's doing. So that's fun to watch. Dylan Holloway's fun to watch, too. Such a good skater. And that goal he scored from Broberg goes back between the legs, puts it over the netminder. I was like, that's a high-skill play. Like, that guy's got some talent. Mm-hmm. And the Joseph brothers, both of these guys, I just love the way they skate. P.O. Joseph is taller than his brother. Great reach out there. Had a really good game. And then Matthew Joseph, he's like a dog on a bone, man. He never stops. He's buzzing all the time. And he's fast. And he's got a little bit of grit to him. And he's like in your face. And now he's scoring goals. So it's fun. And Radek Faksa, another addition. He's not showing up on the score sheet every night, but guys don't like playing against him. He plays the game angry. Like, he comes out on the ice and he looks pissed off. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I like that guy. He can play on my team any day. Yep. And he's playing that way. He's gritty. He's hitting guys, cross-checking guys. He's not fun to play against. I love that. So, yeah, the new guys are contributing a lot. It's a lot of fun to watch right now. There's still some things that need some work, like the power play needs work and things like that. I get it. It's early in the season. You got to fix those as fast as you can. But if Army or Blues fans were wondering or worried at all about the new additions, I think you have to be pretty happy right now.
You are excited about Broberg because, like you said, this is his first time being a
full-time player. Like playing, he's probably going to play all the games, hopefully no injuries, maybe a day off here if there's something nagging him.
Oh, no, he doesn't get a day off. Oh, for practice?
If something's nagging, if there's a mysterious lower body or upper body injury that we don't know about,
That's a strange injury you're pointing to, Carey.
Something, anything, lower body.
Groin
Yeah,
ripper.
something. But, just playing extremely well. We talked about him. I don't know how you feel about plus minus, but he's +6 right now, which means he's on the ice when they're scoring, not on and on the ice when they're not scoring. So he's doing a really good job. You talk about all of the players that they added and the people that they brought in. I envision, like, Army sitting there with his arms and his hands twiddling, like, I love it when a plan comes together. He's sitting there going, I told you all, trust in Army. Like, just excited about these players working well together, the coach getting them all on the same page. We had the dust up a couple of games ago about Walker not playing and Kasperi Kapanen. Why is he in? Oh, okay, bring something that,
That's a hell of a goal.
Right, he has a skill set that you need. So it's fun, right? You're 4-2, you're playing well, things are going well. And it's fun to see the players that you brought in that were not on this roster last year contributing in the way that they are now. You talked about the Joseph brothers. You talked about Holloway, Broberg, like all of these guys, Roddick Foxa, who brings an element that you need grit. You needed grit. You needed guys that people don't want to see. Like, I don't want, all right, okay. I got to go, all right, okay. I don't want to, but I know I got to. You need those guys on your roster. My personal opinion, I think you and I are like-minded in this, Jamie. I love having rosters where there are one or two guys, preferably two, that you don't know what they're going to do. They're kind of a wild card.
Oh, yeah.
Is he going to punch me in the face? He might, yeah. You want those guys on your team. And so when you have that element and you got guys that can skate, you got guys that can score, you got guys that play defense, to me that sounds like a team that is well-rounded and a team that is going to be tough to beat night in and night out.
So Coach Drew Bannister talked to the media after the game about the second period and how difficult it is, or the challenge of constantly or consistently getting down low in the O zone and playing that way, playing that physical style so that you get scoring opportunities. Here's the coach on that specific situation.
I thought as a whole, our group in the second
Marshy.
period was committed to playing to the goal line, and we were allowed to get our forwards in the forecheck, get our D more active to keep pucks live on the walls, and then the offensive opportunities start to come for us.
He said as a whole, Marsh.
Marshy can't give you
Marsh looked at me like, what? What's the deal? I was like, I played the audio. What do you want from me?
It's like, geez, Anthony, I'm not even looking at you.
Right.
Jamie, you often talk about, because it is important, you see how teams win, how teams need to get in front of the net. You have to consistently get in that area.
Sure helps,
you
Anthony.
Can't just circle.
Yeah,
you can't just circle right. You can't keep cycling and go to the outside. You got to get to the front of the net. Why don't teams consistently do that? You're going to get punished.
Yeah, it's not easy.
but when you do
But
it
it's good
effectively, you score 4 goals and you beat a good opponent.
Ask Jake Neighbors. Jake Neighbors, probably when he's playing junior hockey, never thought, I'm going to have to take a beating to score goals. Probably thought to himself, I'm pretty damn good. Look at the skills I've got.
I can skate
I'm fine.
anywhere on this ice.
And then last year, started with Craig Berube and then carried on with Drew Bannister. Drew Bannister literally told him, this is your home. Like, put an X on the ice. They're right here. This is where you're going to make your living.
You sure, Coach?
Oh, no, he said, okay, Jake's smart. He was like, he's the guy, like, I tell you, he's giving you the answers to the test.
Yeah.
Jake Neighbors actually keeps that paper and reads it and has the answers. He went right to the front of the net, and, last game he didn't score in front of the net, but he's a guy that learned to get to the inside. He got rewarded with 27 goals last year. Mm-hmm. So I like the guys that get to the front of the net. I wish I could teach all of these players, get to the front of the net. Yeah, you're going to have 3 or 4 ice bags on you at the end of the game, but you're probably going to score an extra 5 to 8 goals a year just by going to the front of the net. that if you're a 10-goal scorer and you're all of a sudden you're a 15 or an 18-goal scorer, your paycheck's going to get bigger. I can promise you
You can
that.
buy more ice, too.
Yeah, you can buy an ice machine at that
have it
point.
at the house.
Yep. It's a good idea. I'm going to have to do that.
Blues, JV's taking ideas. Blues are off tonight, but they take on the Jets tomorrow. Big matchup, early season matchup with the Jets. Pregame right here on your home of the Blues. 101 ESPN starting at 6 o'clock. Plenty of football over the weekend. Why don't we start off with Carey's notes? Carey's got the Victory Monday T-shirt on, so we might as well dive into Carey's notes. We do this each Monday, where each of us has a segment where we kind of lead based on what we saw on Sunday. Carey Davis is up first. Next in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
Nobody does happy hour like my friends over at Twin Peaks. Whatever your preference is, they have everything in the cocktail department. Maybe it's tequila, maybe it's a bourbon. Boy, do they have great selection of bourbon over there. I was there not too long ago, and it was great. They've got great cocktails that they make. They've got local craft beers, and of course, they always have the 29-degree man-sized draft over there. You got to love all of that. And the NBA is kicking off tomorrow night. Get into Twin Peaks. They got all the TVs around the bar area. You're not going to miss 1 second of it. Probably have the Blues game on as well. Great stuff happening over there. And if you want, especially for happy hour, get into some of their little appetizers. Peaks Sampler is great. Fried pickles, buffalo tenders, hand-cut mozzarella bites. They are yummy, too. Dip them in a little ranch. Awesome stuff there. Or, of course, my favorites, the crispy mini beef tacos. They're awesome. Not too much, just a nice blend of everything in there. You're going to love it. So please stop by Twin Peaks. Say hi to the staff for me, please. They love that. But remember, happy hour and sports bar, you've got Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
wild day in the NFL, and we have our game notes for you. We're going to start off with our very own Carey Davis, who's got some thoughts on Tanisha from the Snake Pit of 49ers. Actually, the Panthers. He's got some notes about the Panthers.
What?
And then finally, Carey's going to wrap it up with trusting his head coach, his former head coach, Mike Tomlin.
Oh, yeah, you should. You want me, am I going? I'm good?
Yeah, you're good.
All right,
You. Go for it.
My first note from the weekend is the 49ers championship window closed or closing? And here's my issue. You have Christian McCaffrey, who is both Achilles, seem to be hurt. Calf, Achilles. You never want to have a calf or Achilles injury. That's really bad. He's been out for the entire year, has not played a snap yet. Yesterday, Juwan Jennings, the team's leading receiver, was out with a hip injury. Deebo Samuel goes into the game, find out he has an illness, moving slowly, not feeling well, plays a few snaps, done. Brandon Ayuk, the guy that they missed all training camp because he wanted a new contract, got said contract, potentially tore his ACL in yesterday's game. The 49ers are decimated with injuries on the offensive side. Not to mention, you got Hufanga, who has missed time this year, the starting safety. Greenlaw has not played yet this year because of injury. You are decimated through the entire team. The kicker was injured and missed time, and they told me that's why they lost the game or came close to losing the game last week, 2 weeks ago.
They did lose that game.
Because of Moody's injury. Like, you are dealing with, and in my opinion, almost an insurmountable amount of injuries for this team. And that's what happens when you play all of these postseason games. I started thinking about this. You play all of these postseason games, you make it to the Super Bowl a few times, but you do not win.
Yeah.
Like, it takes a toll on you physically, but it also takes a toll on you mentally. You're looking at the Chiefs. They're kind of struggling through the same thing with the injuries because of all the postseason games, but they won the championship. So you feel a little bit better when you're winners as opposed to when you lost. The 49ers, in my opinion, are dealing with so many injuries, and I think we are getting to the point where this championship, George Kittle has missed time with injury. You're getting to the point where now this championship window may be closing, and then you're going to have to pay the quarterback. And we know once that happens, all the other guys go bye-bye. Because now the bulk of the money is towards the quarterback, and you got to find cheaper players that can help with that as opposed to a cheaper quarterback with great players. So I think their window is closing. I don't know if it's closed yet, but it's starting to close just because of all of the injuries that they are mounting up.
You know, Carey, I think the thing that you said there that was spot on was when you play all those extra games each and every year, and the 49ers have played a ton of extra games because they've been a great team. Mm-hmm. That eventually is going to take a toll on your body. It's going to take a toll mentally. You're absolutely right. There's kind of that bill that eventually comes due. It's why we don't see. Why we haven't seen dynasties in the NFL. Now, we're getting one with the Chiefs because of Reed and Mahomes, and they can just kind of plug and play. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter who's on the roster for them as long as Reed's there and Mahomes there, you're good. But with the 49ers, they're well coached, the roster's built correctly, but you're not. I mean, look, no, you're not going to win if you don't have Deebo, CMC, banged up Kittle. Now you went through the injuries. Eventually that bill comes due. Yeah. So I think that's where we're at right now with the 49ers.
I agree.
There's two things, though. One, the division's not very good.
All right.
The Rams barely got past the Raiders yesterday.
The Rams and Seattle are probably going to be. I was thinking about
Seattle's going to hang.
Seattle's going to hang. Seattle's probably winning that division. Cooper Kupp, if Puka Nacua comes back healthy in a couple of weeks. The Rams are probably a team because Kyron Williams running the football, he looks really good. Like, they have some things offensively when they get healthy. The 49ers might end up being the third team in this division, and it's because of all of the injuries that they are dealing with. Seattle, I think, is going to be okay. They beat up on your Falcons yesterday.
Easy win.
Sorry. Okay. I thought you said easy. I didn't want to offend you.
No. That was an easy win.
and the Rams.
That was 7-on-7.
The Rams are unhealthy.
No pass
once they get healthy, I think they could be a team to contend with, to deal with. The 49ers are banged up, man. And it's unfortunate because we know how much talent this team has and how good they are when they are healthy. No Christian McCaffrey, Deebo injured, Jennings injured, Ayuk probably out for the year. Like, that's too many things that are going wrong for your team, in my opinion, right now.
Yeah, there's only so much you could do if you're that coaching staff.
My second point, and we don't talk about this team with good reason. They stink. They will probably have the number one pick overall again this year. The Carolina Panthers need to let Bryce Young just play. like at this point, if you're Andy Dalton and your team and you throw for 93 yards in an NFL game,
that's pathetic.
And your team lost 40-7. The only 7 you got was the second to last drive that you had of the game. 93 yards as an NFL quarterback. I know everybody was so excited when they won their one game versus, I believe, the Raiders.
Yes.
When Andy Dalton came in, he threw for 300. Oh, he's good. He's the safe. No, it's the Raiders. The Raiders stink too, as do you. Probably 1-2 in the NFL draft this year. Like 2 terrible teams, and Andy Dalton won that game. But since then, man, been great. You haven't won a game since then, and yesterday you threw for 93 yards. You might as well let Bryce Young play so you can evaluate him to see what you have. To say, you know what, it's a few quarterbacks coming out in this draft. Quinn Ewers is going to be one. Shedeur Sanders is another one that's probably going to be in this draft. We might need to reevaluate this guy to see if we need to take one of those guys. If I'm the Carolina Panthers, I don't need to see Andy Dalton anymore.
Right.
I don't. I know he's a very good backup in this league for a team that has a chance to either get the first overall pick or make a championship run. Right now, they are in the running for the first overall pick. Let Bryce Young play, false and out. I can lose 40-7 with Bryce Young. Mm-hmm. I don't need to have Andy Dalton under center to do that. And so if I'm the Carolina Panthers, it's decision-making time. I have to, as a staff, as an organization, come to grips with the fact that I got to let this young man, and we're probably going to lose 40-7 anyways. Might as well do that with Bryce Young and let him gain that information, gain experience, and go through all the trials and tribulations as a younger quarterback. I don't need to see Andy Dalton anymore. No offense to him.
I mean, they lost 40-7. Jaden Daniels only played a quarter and a half.
He got done in the second quarter.
Yeah, so Marcus Mariota stepped in there.
Oh, he's back, baby.
He's back, man. Marcus Mariota, you got to watch for him. He's average. And Washington defensively has been terrible all season long. Yes. So you got 93 yards against a bad Washington defense against a Washington team that scored 40 on you without their starting quarterback for most of it.
Not great.
That's pathetic.
It's bad, man.
Bad look, Anthony.
It's a really bad look.
You don't want to do. You don't think that's good?
I don't, Carey. Yeah, I know. I'm stepping out on a limb by saying that, but no,
it's a bit of a risk. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, and my last point. I tell you guys to trust in my guy.
Oh gosh,
Mike T. You know what I got? Right here.
Oh
yeah.
Fire it up, Marshy.
Pittsburgh Steelers. Trust in Mike Tomlin.
I didn't see these.
Man
Dion's
knows
here.
football, okay? The Pittsburgh Steelers know football. Russell Wilson, not great in the first quarter, not great in the first couple of drives. It was bad, but you know what a passing game does? It makes everything better. Najee Harris, 102 yards and a touchdown, 4.9 yards a carry. You know why? Because he can throw the damn ball. Russell can pass 15 yards. Justin Fields, great in the run game, not great in the pass game. This is what Mike Tomlin saw when he said we have to go in a different direction. The ability to run the football because of the threat of the passing game. Downfield, George Pickens, 111 yards. Making plays where, Anthony? Downfield, man, because Russell can throw it there. You know what that also forces? The safeties to play too high. What does that do? We can run the football. This was the best thing they could have done offensively because it allows for the run game and the pass game to work hand in hand. Russell Wilson, he will only get better. The throw he made to Van Jefferson, not taking anything away from Justin Fields. Don't know if he makes that throw on the goal line for a touchdown. That is a quarterback that is on time, on target, and that is what the Steelers have been missing. And you know what I love the most about Russell Wilson last night? They tried to bait him into, what's your slogan? What do you got? And you know what? This is Pittsburgh, baby. We're going to wait till the end of the year. We don't need any slogans. You know what our slogan is? Just win damn football games. You know who probably told him that? Mike Tomlin. Hey, man, I don't give a damn about your slogans. Win games. That's all I care about. And I know Mike T told him, hey, look, it's Pittsburgh. We don't do slogans. We just win championships. That's all we need. Nobody cares about what you got to say after the game if you don't put it on film during the game. Pittsburgh Steelers winning the game last night, and I told you all to trust in Mike T. That's all you got to do. That's all you need. Trust in Mike T. All right. Put my... Okay. Oh, yeah.
That was real good.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
Mike Tomlin, one of the better decisions I made yesterday was at halftime not sending the group a text saying Mike Tomlin deserves this. Because I had it queued up. I had it queued up. I'm all set. Mike Tomlin deserves this because Russell Wilson was trash in the first half.
The first quarter and a half. It was some bad throws. It was
the first quarter and a half.
Yeah.
Here's what you have to understand. This is a man who had not played in, I don't know, the last time Russell Wilson played a game. Not good. Been dealing with injuries, and I liked his analogy of being a baseball player going 0 for 2 to start the game off. Russell Wilson actually played baseball, so he understands. He was drafted in baseball. He truly understands the analogy. 0 for 2, first quarter and a half, not great. Didn't look great, but you know what? I trusted my guys. I got guys that now, I do think the Steelers still need one more receiver, in my opinion. But now that they have this passing game open to them, if you go get another receiver, I think it will be even better. Because what they do have also is one of the best damn defenses in the league. They are not going to allow you to run the ball. Made a couple big plays in the passing game. Got to get the guy on the ground. Breece Hall made a great catch and run. But all in all, this team is going to tip balls and make plays on the ball. They're going to get to your quarterback. They are going to play football, and they understand complementary football. First quarter and a half, terrible. Defense, don't give them nothing. Yes, we got you. Offense rolling. Now, 37 points later, talk to me.
It's a mic drop. Nothing I can say.
Nothing left.
That was Carey's game notes for Week 7. We'll get into Marsh's and Jamie and mine throughout the course of the show, but I want to start off with Carey because Carey was excited coming in today on a Victory Monday, at least for Carey.
You see the shirt?
There you go.
All right. That out there, too.
We'll get to them as well. Yep. Fire up Illini.
Yep.
All right, it's the Fast Lane on 101 at ESPN. Speaking of college football, was that a gritty performance by Brady Cook or just another so-so win for Mizzou? Yes. That's next on 101 ESPN. I'm going to head out to Herculaneum here pretty soon. I'm going to bring the Pathfinder in for an oil change, and who knows, maybe I'll look around because they got over 700 vehicles all in one location, all out in Herculaneum at Auto Centers Nissan. So you're bound to find the best vehicle, whether it's style and budget, financing options available that you're going to find in the greater St. Louis area. In fact, Auto Centers Nissan, they get the largest and best used selection in all of St. Louis. So I recommend starting out online. That's what we did. AutoCentersNissan.com. We looked through all the vehicles. We looked at different price points, the different things that the family, we could use from a family standpoint. Then when we went out there, we test drove about 4 or 5 vehicles, fell in love with pre-owned Pathfinder. But they've got new Pathfinders, they got new Altimas, they got Rogues, Sentras, Nissan Kicks, Versas. In fact, the Kicks, Sentras, and Versas are all priced below $23,000 right now, and you get a 2024 Rogue and Altima starting below $30,000. That all comes with the complimentary lifetime warranty. New Nissans come with a 30-day return promise, so you bring it back within 30 days if you're not completely satisfied with the vehicle, and complimentary Nissan maintenance plan as well. Check them out online, AutoCentersNissan.com. When you head down to Herculaneum, tell them Stalter sent you. It's Auto Centers Nissan.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Blues pick up a big win against the Carolina Hurricanes over the weekend. They'll take on the Winnipeg Jets tomorrow, and you can listen to that game right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. We talked about the Blues at the beginning of the show. If you missed that or if you missed anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 mobile app. Just head to the podcast page. You'll find all of our full shows and interviews there. And it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. City SC, they lost 4-1 against Minnesota over the weekend. They finished 12th in the West. 8 wins, 13 losses, and 13 draws on the regular season. Tonight, we have Monday Night Football for you. Bucks and Ravens. Pregame starts at 6:30. We'll also have Game 1 of the World Series on Friday as the Yankees will take on the Dodgers. A lot happening over the weekend. We'll get to all of it in today's show. But coming up next, we're going to dive into Mizzou's 21-17 win over the Auburn Tigers. Was it a gritty performance by Brady Cook, a so-so win for Mizzou, or maybe it was a little bit of both? We'll discuss it next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
For all the criticism that young man takes, 12 sure would die on that field for everybody. I mean, for him to be out there and put his body on the line for us is incredible, and it ought to be inspiring to everybody that watched it today.
All right, that was Eli Drinkowitz talking about his quarterback, Brady Cook, who suffered a leg injury, an ankle injury in the first half, wound up missing most of the first half as Mizzou fell behind against Auburn, and then came back for the start of the third quarter and wound up leading Mizzou to victory. And, he was Eli Drinkowitz was emotional. I don't know if Brady Cook needs to die to get it done, to show his toughness and his grit. Seems extreme, Jamie.
It felt a little bit extreme. Felt like he would die for all of you all. Somebody already done that. No, we need Brady Cook to do that too.
You tell me JC couldn't hit a curveball?
Tell me JC couldn't lead them back against Auburn?
I think that's where he was going. I don't know.
Yeah.
He was
caught up in the moment.
He was definitely caught up in the moment.
Somebody should have said, hasn't that been done before?
I don't know, Coach. I think we already a couple thousand years ago, but whatever. Neither here nor there.
Gritty performance.
See how Anthony gets out of this one.
Gritty performance by Brady Cook, or kind of another bad win for Mizzou.
I thought it was, honestly, in fairness, and I give Mizzou a lot of crap, and it's only because I love him. I thought it was pretty cool that he was able to, because he was injured. You saw it early in the game. He got tackled. He got sacked in the pocket. The guy, the Auburn defender, landed on his ankle. He tried to stay in. I saw him try to hand the next ball off. He was limping. Tried to roll out on another play and just went down and got a sack. And so came out of the game. And I thought at that moment, Mizzou is done. It's over. They have no chance to come back into this game. The backup quarterback is not Brady Cook. It's not going to happen. And you find out later he went to the hospital watching the game and says, you know what, hey, tape me up, shoot me up, whatever I got to do to get back in this game to help our team win. For me, and not dying on the field, but for your teammates sacrificing and getting back into the game when you may not be at 100%, like, I appreciate that. Like, and for it to be the quarterback. Like, that's your quarterback. That's the guy all your hopes and dreams are leaning on, because if you don't have a quarterback that can get the ball downfield, that can do the things that he was able to do, you're not going to win games. So for him to get back into the game, I think it just speaks volumes to the type of young man that he is and the sacrifice that he is willing to have to help his team win.
Last time I saw something like this happen, Bobby Boucher came back at halftime. My Dogs went on to win the Bourbon Bowl.
Yes, he did.
That's what I thought of the whole time. I look at Bobby Boucher.
I don't think he was visiting his mother, though. Bobby wasn't hurt.
No, but explain this to me, Carey, and Anthony, whoever. You leave the field, you go to the hospital, and then you decide, I'm going to go back to the field.
Well, Jamie, I can attest to this because I have had an injury, and there's certain medication that
Yeah,
you
but they
can
usually
get.
have that on hand.
They do. I don't know if maybe they didn't have the
didn't
X-ray
have?
room I don't know Mizzou's setup. I don't know if they don't have an X-ray room. Most stadiums have an X-ray room.
It's a Division I program.
They should. They usually have an X-ray room at the stadium. You don't have to go to the hospital. I'm assuming he went to the hospital. He didn't get an MRI. I wouldn't think because that takes a little longer. But an
I
X-ray.
think he did.
Did they give it?
I think he got an MRI. Yeah.
Well,
Did anybody take a look?
They carted him to the hospital.
hospital must be right around the corner.
Yeah, it's like right there.
It's
It's not that far away.
Did
2
anybody
minutes
notice
away.
if he came back for the second half wearing a little hospital bracelet?
I don't think they admitted him. You know,
How do you get what?
Jamie, I hate to inform you of this. When you're a professional athlete or a collegiate athlete at that level, they just zip past all the
the common
necessities.
folk.
Yeah,
Those people in the emergency room have to be pissed today.
I'm very upset. What the hell? I've been here 2 hours waiting on an MRI. This guy goes right in. Yeah, sorry.
I'm bleeding.
He's in and out in 10 minutes.
Yeah, he won the game though.
Yep, he won the game.
Look, it was a great.
It's just a bad game, though, guys.
It
Let's
was a
just be
gritty
honest.
performance, but
We can give Brady Cook all the props that we want for leaving the game, coming back, playing injured, all that. But this Mizzou team is in big trouble. They have not played good all year.
They got Bama this week. Bama's struggling.
Bama
they're
is struggling.
There you go.
How many times?
It's a get right game.
How many times over the last month has one of us
I'll take you up
texted
on
in this
that.
group chat, Mizzou are frauds?
Honestly,
How many
Marsh,
times?
you've done it once a week.
I didn't do it this week.
I was guilty.
I think it was
Jamie
Jamie
was
this
it
week.
this week. And every single time except for obviously the one, they've come back and won.
Yeah, but they should be winning, though. Like, come on.
They should be winning.
They're not improving. Like that's that. If you're a Mizzou fan, right, you're happy for the win. You're grateful for the win because you have to essentially run the table now. You've got to get in the SEC championship game. You've got to win that puppy. You're probably not, but at this point, you're just survive in advance, right? So you're a Mizzou fan. You're grateful for the win. You're thrilled about Brady Cook. You're not improving. They're making the same mistakes. How many times is one of these safeties going to jump on one of the crossing routes and leave the go route right behind him again?
No.
I mean, every time. It's like a toddler. You're dangling the cookie in front of him, and he's coming right up.
Yeah, that's bad because as a safety, as a DB, you're taught to stay deep as the
Stay
deepest.
deep.
If he goes into the
Head on a
bleachers
swivel.
in section 7, you should be in
You
section
follow
8.
his ass.
Like, you should be one row behind him.
Yes.
Like he's an M, you should be an N. Like that's the rule. Deep is the deepest. I don't care how deep he goes. You got to be right behind him.
You're a safety.
You're a safety.
You're
That's your
saving the
job.
touchdown.
Yeah, well, you know.
But again, how many times we saw it against Boston College? We saw it against Auburn. We saw it against Vanderbilt. Bite. You're not improving. So we can sit here and talk about Mizzou winning, and we can sit here and talk about Brady Cook, putting together a gritty performance. Both things would be good. Both things are true. But my God, you're not playing well. This is an average SEC team.
They won.
I already covered that.
I don't think Auburn has beaten a ranked team in like over 2 years.
Oh, man.
They got a get right game this week. Alabama has lost 2 of their last 3. It's a get right game.
For Alabama.
Should have lost 3. Should have lost to South Carolina too.
Yeah, they should have.
The water boy says, "Wait, Brady Cook didn't have to fill out any paperwork." Can you imagine sitting there filling out paperwork while Why does he get to go? Yeah, it goes back to the game.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say about Mizzou. I was excited. Coming into the year. You guys, well, Carey wasn't, but Jamie and
I was
Marshy.
excited.
I know you guys were excited too. Hey,
I wore my shirt the other day.
this is going to be great to see this unfold. And all it's been is, like they're winning and they're winning close games, and it should be exciting. Until you look at the opponent, and you're like, you should be dragging this lifeless body around your field. You play one road game, you got smoked. Or I'm sorry, 2 road games. One you got smoked. One was UMass. Like, You've had a cakewalk schedule. You should be building some momentum. They're not. So good luck with the rest of the SEC schedule. I don't know what to say.
Can I read this text?
Sure.
You guys are idiots when it comes to college football. The Zoo doesn't need to win out to make the SEC championship game. They could go 10-2 and have a very good shot at making the championship game. You're not considering that for this program to go 9-3 or 10-2, that would be a disappointment. That just shows how far this program has come.
I'm not arguing that.
Yeah, but the idiots part, I don't agree
I'm not arguing that. What you're doing is you're setting up a straw man argument.
Yeah.
You just set up a straw man argument there. We're not debating that. We can have that discussion at the end of the year. What we're talking about, because we said that they were a legit program, and maybe to your point, we are idiots because we said that this team was a top 10 team. They're not. So you got us. You got us point blank on that. But don't argue something that we're not discussing, man.
This team was supposed to lose one game, in my opinion. Like, maybe the Alabama game should have been the one loss that you could mark down on the calendar and on the schedule and say, yeah, we could see that this team could lose that game. We talked about them being 6-0 or 7-0 going into Alabama, and that
Correct.
being your one test. You lost to Texas A&M. You almost lost to Vandy, who turns out is a really good team. You were losing to Boston College, who I don't think is even ranked in the top 25 anymore.
No, they lost again this weekend.
You are 10 points from being 3 losses, maybe 14 points from having 3 losses. Like you are as close as you could be to being 4-3 as you are to being 6-1. Mm-hmm. If I got the number correct, I think they're 6-1 right now.
I was told there's no math.
Yeah, okay, but either way,
they're 6-1.
You're as close to being 4-3 as you are to 6-1. And maybe 3-4 if Brady Cook doesn't. Like, those are things. This is not a team that should be. We talked about this all offseason. What do we expect? What are the expectations? And with expectations, you have to meet or match them. I think the eye test has shown that they have not matched or met those expectations. They are a 6-1 team. Full stop. Good. But you should be a 6-1 or a 7-0 team with being ranked higher and having being played much better than what you've shown on film.
Yeah, you need convincing wins.
Yes.
And the only thing they've convinced me is that they're not a top 15 team.
Right. But we're idiots, and we are. So, yeah. We'll see what happens.
We got another. By that logic, Miami are Miami frauds. Yes. They should have lost twice. Could have lost twice. I don't think Miami
3 times.
I don't think Miami wins a national championship. They're in a good conference where it's easier to make it to their championship game, but I don't think Miami is a team that can beat an Alabama team right now, or a Tennessee or a Texas team right now.
Yeah, you're being emotional. I mean, I'm just gonna you're being emotional, and I get that way too about my teams. But you're being emotional. You're first of all to state like you guys are idiots. You're emotional right now. You're upset.
Yeah, you're mad.
You're upset. Like you're. So once you calm down. And once you look at things, from the perspective of, hey, I'm gonna be rational here instead of emotional, then we can have the conversation. Until that point, we bid you adieu.
Good luck in Bama.
And we're sorry. Just feel that way. All right. John Mozeliak had a bad night last night. We'll tell you why next on 101 ESPN.
Elevate your performance over at Pure Performance. They are your one-stop shop for all of your aftermarket modifications. They are absolutely well known for the great work that they do. After nearly 40 years of outfitting the best-dressed vehicles in the St. Louis and St. Charles areas, you can trust your prized investment because they're in great hands over at Pure Performance. They've got all sorts of accessories over there. Lift kits, leveling kits, the oversized tires, normal tires, running boards. Great stuff over there. And you can find it all in their 25,000 square foot facility. It's the largest showroom in the area. It's located right there in St. Peter's, right off of Highway 70. When you walk in, please ask for Shelby or Caleb. Tell them Jamie Rivers sent you in. I promise you that they're going to find out everything that they need to know about the vehicle, also your budget, and then they're going to point you in the right direction. And then the technicians do an amazing job, and you're going to absolutely love the end result. So please stop by and check things out. If not, stop by online. Visit them at pureperformance.com. That's pure, P-U-R, performance.com.
Edman drives this ball deep left center field. That goes Nimmo. Clean up Tommy Edman. A two-run blast.
Our staff, coach staff does a great job of making sure they're always available, whenever I need some extra work. But yeah, it is tough. It is tough. But I think that's kind of where that time in St. Louis early in my career helped out a little bit too. I moved all around the first, I guess my whole career so far. So I think just having that experience and being able to adjust has helped out.
So that was former Cardinal Tommy Edman following the game last night. That audio courtesy of Fox. Tommy Edman hit .407 in the NLCS against the Mets. 11 hits, 11 ribbies, 5 runs scored. Had a big home run last night, and he was named NLCS MVP because, of course, he was. It's the Fast Lane on 101 at ESPN. Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers. So Cardinals Talk on Twitter had these numbers. Tommy Edman offensive rank since he was called up in 2019 for the Cardinals. Hits, third. Runs, second. Doubles, third. Triples, first. Home runs, 6. RBIs, third. Walks, 5th. Stolen bases, first. WRC plus, third.
Trade him.
Trade him. I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I said at the time of the trade. I'm not going to be a hypocrite. Look, at the time of the trade, I said you need pitching. You have an abundance of players Maybe not Tommy Edman, but abundance of players that could play multiple positions. You gave up something to get something you need. You needed pitching. Now, if Eric Fedde stinks next year, this deal's going to look horrible. If Tommy Edman winds up being a key player for the Dodgers, it's going to look horrible. But it's not like the Cardinals didn't know what they had in Tommy Edman. They needed pitching. They messed up. They messed up by not having pitchers available and ready so that Tommy Edman can stay on the shelf for as long as he needed, and then when he came back, he'd be inserted back in the lineup. But because you didn't have pitching, you went out and got it. And the cost, unfortunately, was this year's NLCS MVP. Well, that's a tough draw.
Good for him, first of all.
Yeah.
We'd be happy for our former Cardinals. It's frustrating. Well, I mean, when you said John Mozeliak had an issue, I thought the Cardinals were playing. I was confused.
No, he had a bad night.
Yeah, you said he had a bad night. I was like, did the Cardinals have the game? No.
Yeah.
Tommy Edman did a great job. I mean, he I was listening to the Dodgers talk about him. He's not a conventional cleanup hitter. Like, he's not a guy that you would normally. Dave Roberts was on with the guys with A-Rod and David Ortiz and talking. He's not you guys playing batting cleanup, but he's what we needed, and so that's what he did a fantastic job winning the NLCS MVP. Like, that's. I don't know that I can be. I'm not upset with him. I'm not upset with. I don't know how to feel. Right. I don't know how the Cardinals should feel. I don't know if they should be. It might be a wait and see. Maybe Eric Fedde is a Cy Young Award winner next year, and then you say, we did it. Why is your mouth covered, Jamie?
You said Eric Fedde and Cy Young.
Well, I don't know. That's why you trade for him, isn't it? You trade a good player for another good player. That's how it works. How it should work.
Okay.
The Cardinals had their center fielder. They didn't need him, right? He didn't play second base. You didn't need that either, right? The hell you need what do you need that for?
Does Tommy Edman make the difference for this Cardinals team this year? In terms of them making the playoffs?
No.
Probably not.
Probably not. No.
I mean,
they needed way more than Tommy Edman.
Neither does Eric Fedde, though.
Great point.
But you needed a pitcher.
But you needed a pitcher for next year, too.
Did
correct?
You?
Yeah. What else? Where are you going to get pitching?
I don't know. Memphis?
You don't like the options in Memphis.
Who doesn't?
You don't. Carey Davis.
I liked Graceffo. I like what McGreevy did. Loved it.
You would still need guys.
Do you?
Yeah.
Anthony, I think there's a difference between you need a pitcher and you need a great pitcher.
But Tommy Edman wasn't going to net you a great pitcher.
Then.
Right, but I think that's where this whole conversation is did you get enough for Tommy Edman?
Honestly, we don't know.
Based on the numbers that you just gave and in his time here, he's one of your better players.
Yeah.
He was injured all year. You didn't have the patience or the time to wait for him because you thought he was your center fielder, which you had guys that could replace him, right? But did you have a second baseman that could replace him?
Yeah.
Who?
I mean, you have Brendan Donovan, you have Nolan Gorman, you have Thomas Saggese.
You would take them over Tommy Edman?
No, but I mean the conversation is about you need pitching. Like, we can't eliminate. We can't eliminate that variable.
Okay, I agree.
You know what I mean?
But the pitching that you got in return, is it sufficient?
I don't know if it's going to be next year. Was it for half a season this year? No.
Okay. So that's my.
You have lost that trade for this season.
I think that's my. I think that's yes.
You sick sons of.
Thank you. That's all I needed.
Okay.
I needed confirmation. That's all I needed. I didn't need much else.
You lost this trade for 2024.
Damn it, Anthony, you get it.
Okay.
You get me.
If that's all you needed, I'll happily give you that.
Here's the thing. It doesn't matter what Eric Fedde does next year. If the Dodgers win the World Series, I think you lose that trade no matter what. You lose the trade no matter what because they get a World Series out of that.
But the Dodgers were World Series contenders before that.
Yeah, but every single year but they haven't, for whatever reason, they haven't got over the hump other than a shortened 2020 season.
Right, and hopefully they don't get over the hump now, so we can continue to make fun of them.
Well, absolutely.
I think that's a beautiful thing, and I don't want the Yankees to take that away from us. Go Yankees! I think what we're missing here in every one of these trades is that the Cardinals don't know what they're doing, and the Dodgers do. And the Dodgers are a good team. The Dodgers view Tommy Edman, but he is thrown into a good situation on a good team.
Take him out of that lineup. Do they win the series?
I would like to think they would. I mean, if you can't, then why?
Cleanup, though.
I understand
I think they
that,
probably
but
do too. They scored like 35, 45 runs in the series. Like, they were scoring a lot of runs.
The Cardinals continue. The reason why they traded Tommy Edman is because they fast-laned up their pitching.
So let me ask you.
This is why I've talked about the Ozuna trade over and over, and it all goes back to that. Mm-hmm. Remember when the Blues gave up Pietrangelo? Mm-hmm. There is a domino effect there is the butterfly effect that happens that leads to players being added. I don't think it's a Dodgers thing. I think it's a Cardinals thing. You're upset about Tommy Edman? Be upset about the Ozuna trade. The butterfly effect from that. We're still feeling the effects of it. In my opinion.
You're not wrong at all. And I feel like a lot of fans are mad at that.
So why not get one of those high ceiling pitchers from the Dodgers if you were going to trade Tommy Edman? Mm-hmm. You could have got one of the guys that are hurt. They got 15 of them that are hurt. You could have picked one of them that have a high ceiling and said, hey, I know he's hurt, not going to help us this year, but let us get one of these guys as well.
Do you want to know the real answer to that?
Yes.
Because the Cardinals only go for the floor.
Oh, man.
They care about the floor. I've said this for years. They care about the floor. They don't like the ceiling. The ceiling's got way too much risk. We can't get an injured player. He could be the better pitcher. Doesn't matter. Eric Fetty's floor, sorry for that, Eric Fetty's floor was much higher than any of the Dodgers guys. So they went for the floor. They went for the easy. They went up for the layup. They're not. They are a risk-averse organization, and they will always be a risk-averse organization under Mo and possibly even the DeWitts.
Oh, jeez.
So you ask me, like, why didn't they get one of the Dodgers? Because the Dodgers pitchers would have came with more risk. Higher ceiling,
much
higher risk.
Yeah.
So they went for Fetty, who was having a really good half season.
And Tommy Pham, who's no longer here.
And Tommy Pham. That was a dumb move.
No, you kidding me? The Pham slam? You shut your mouth, Anthony. That was a hell of a moment.
One hit.
That was Jamie's favorite moment of the year.
There weren't a lot of good moments,
It was
Carey.
the best moment of the year.
NY says it had nothing to do with the floor versus the ceiling. It was the fact that Fetty was good this year for the Chicago White Sox. Hey, NY. Because Fetty was good for the White Sox, he was on the Cardinals' radar. What do you think, they pulled it on a hat?
He's the worst team in the league.
It has everything to do with the floor and the ceiling. Or else they would have went for a different pitcher. But because he was good for the White Sox, the floor increased for Fetty. This is my point. I'm probably not explaining it well, NY. Either that or you can't grasp it. I'm going to blame myself, though. I'm going to take accountability. I'm probably not explaining this well.
You're taking a lot of accountability today.
I am.
You
I
had a good weekend.
I had a great weekend, actually. I had a great weekend.
The Falcons win?
2-0.
Yeah.
2-0.
Not the Atlanta Falcons.
Not the Atlanta Falcons. Yeah, the real Falcons.
The real Falcons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. Kids played well. Kids played very well. Shout out in there. Yeah, defense looks good. NY, what does a high ceiling pitcher do for a team competing for the playoffs? Oh, sweet Mary Jesus. What does a high ceiling pitcher do for a team competing for the playoffs?
Gives you a chance to win and be an ace. Be a guy that you don't have to burn up your bullpen.
I'm not going to say anything.
Here's a better question. You mentioned injured pitchers. What does a high ceiling injured pitcher do for a team competing for the playoffs?
If that's what he means, maybe nothing. But we can't be short-sighted for only one season.
Why do we consider the Cardinals?
This is what the Cardinals do.
Why do
they make us go crazy?
Why do we consider the Cardinals? Man, maybe I'm the one on the outside. Mm-hmm. Do we really think that the Cardinals had a chance to make the playoffs this year?
I thought at the start of the year.
At the start of the year. Trade deadline. Did we really think that the Cardinals had, because the mindset that I keep hearing, well, you can win 17 in a row. Yeah, you could. Dude, you probably won't.
Is anybody listening today? It's easy. The Cardinals made a win now to say, look, I said I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I said at the time the Fetty deal was good. That's what I said at the time. I'm not going to be a hypocrite on this.
Well,
But Carey asked me, like, let's stay in context, man. Carey asked me flat out, why didn't they go for one of the Dodgers pitchers and just made a deal with the Dodgers? And why did they? That was my opinion on that. That's when I brought up the ceiling and the floor. Don't piss me off today. I was in a good mood today. I was in a really good mood today. Why do we have to murder context always?
You know,
Like, why do people have to fly in off the top rope? We're not even the one guy, the previous segment. It's talking about stuff we're not even talking about with Mizzou.
He did apologize, by the way.
Oh, great. Now I feel terrible. I feel terrible. I'm sorry, Mizzou fan. I gotta stop reading this. All right. Let's get back to the Blues. That way I can take a segment off.
you're up, Jamie.
Here we go. All right, I got water.
Jamie took this one off. He's next. We'll talk about something with the Blues.
I'm dealing with my children right now.
Who isn't?
Every day. I get on the air.
They don't know you. Jamie, in fairness, they don't know what you do from 2 to 6 every single day now.
It's been 4 years now. And every time I get on the air,
The text start.
my phone
see 'em, too.
rings. The text, they're all fighting in a group chat about something, tagging me, and I'm sitting here trying to solve problems when I just want to eviscerate the Cardinals. Gosh.
Flashback to I got to read this. Hey Anthony, can you please repeat everything you already said because some people only heard what they wanted. Well said. All right, I'm gonna take a breather. Let's get back into those Blues. They can't be stopped.
You deal with my kids.
Slide the phone over. I'll deal with the kids. You deal with the Blues. Who got a huge win over the weekend. So the Blues, any room for error in the Central Division? We'll talk about it next on 101 ESPN.
Anthony, I absolutely love going over to Mentality. They have changed a lot of things in my life for sure. And if you're out there listening right now and you're 25, 35, 45, it's inevitable at some point that testosterone starts to lower. Just is. I was talking to somebody this weekend about it. And he's like, it's unbelievable how much you change and you don't realize it because it's kind of gradual. And then once you finally get back on the rails via Mentality, your life changes again, and you feel like completely rejuvenated. So that's why I love going over to Mentality.
Yeah, I'm fired up today because I feel great. I got high energy. I'm ready to go.
Sure.
I'm ready to battle. I love Mentality. I love the program. I love what it's done for Jamie and I. I've seen it with Jamie, and obviously I've seen it for myself. And people ask us all the time, hey, you actually go down there. Yeah, go. Go talk to their board certified physicians. They'll tell you flat out they see us every week. The program works. Energy standpoint, from not dragging throughout the course of your day, for having that energy as you're revving to go. Your thoughts are clear. I mean, across the board, I feel great, and so does Jamie. 2 locations, one in South County, one in Chesterfield. You can also visit them online at lowtusa.com. Again, lowtusa.com. It's Mentality.
Puck to Kapanen. Drives the middle. Score! Cappy puts the St. Louis Blues on top 4-3. What a goal to give them a lead. 15:34 to go. Third period.
That was Chris Kerber, voice of the Blues, here on 101 ESPN over the weekend as the Blues down the Hurricanes 4-3. It's a fast line on 101 ESPN. I've calmed down, guys. The Snake Pit's revving to go. Snake Pit, I love you. Then I look up and Stalter always gets butthurt when someone calls him out and he blames for people not understanding him. I took blame on that, NY. I said that was my fault.
NY is new to the Snake Pit.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah.
Snake Pit, you need to regulate what's going on in there.
Yeah, no. I love each and every listener. Sometimes context gets mangled, though, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes you're explaining something and somebody decides to argue a different point. And then they say they call you out even though you weren't even arguing that point.
Well,
Stuff happens.
How life goes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that going on these days.
Jamie.
Yeah.
Blues, Central Division. The Central Division is stacked. It's looking like the SEC these days.
Is it ever?
And in the SEC, you don't have a lot of room for error. So when it comes to the Blues, do you forecast the Central Division to be tight throughout the course of the entire year?
It's going to be, it's going to be interesting because you get the Winnipeg Jets have not lost a game. They got 5 wins, leading the division with 10 points. Dallas Stars, 5 wins, 10 points. Utah, 4 wins, 9 points. The Blues have 8 points. They've won 4 games, and they find themselves tied for 4th place in the division. And let's not even get into the fact that the Avalanche and the Predators have stunk so far. They won't continue to stink, those 2 teams. Those 2 teams are going to get hot here. They're going to be really good. So you add those 2 teams to the mix, and you've got a total of, 2, 4, 6, 7 teams that are playoff contending teams. Yeah, it's going to be a dogfight. It's going to stink because the Blues can't take their foot off the gas for one part of the season at all this year. And you're going to have to hope that some teams stumble in the Pacific. Like Calgary's in first place. That's not going to stay like that. You're going to end up with Vegas and Vancouver and Edmonton that are going to be really solid teams. So you got to hopefully look at a wild card spot. It's nuts. I mean, the Central Division is just full of really good teams. Will Utah stay hot like this? I don't know. Will Minnesota continue to win? I don't know. Those are 2 question marks I have. But I can tell you what, the Jets, the Stars, the Avs, and the Predators are all going to be very good.
So this is an interesting matchup tomorrow night against the Jets. It's kind of a nice early season test because, Jamie, correct me if I'm wrong, this is still a Winnipeg team that plays the way the Blues want to play right now, which is physical, get in front of the net, strong forecheck, all that. Like your typical fundamental hockey team that doesn't necessarily have a ton of top-end skill like an Edmonton team or a Colorado team, but one that could physically grind you down. So I think this is kind of it's not even a clash in styles. It's or a contrast. It's the same. So this is a nice test for them early on, especially some of these young guys that have stepped up for the Blues.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge test to kind of see where you're at right now. Winnipeg's got solid forwards, good defensive core, and great goaltending. Mm-hmm. You're going to get Connor Hellebuck tomorrow in net for you. He's been good for, I don't know how many years now. He's always in the Vezina conversation. So you're going to have to put your A game out there, or it could get ugly.
Yeah.
And, I'm anxious to see this game, to see where the Blues are. Now, it's early in the season. The Blues have only played 6 games so far.
Yeah.
But this is going to be by far their biggest test. And, you get a great idea of your hockey club when you play somebody that's really good. Now, the Carolina Hurricanes, I thought they were a really good hockey club, too. They are. They're one of the best teams in the league. And you won that game.
Yeah.
So there's nothing saying you can't beat the Winnipeg Jets. It's just going to be a hell of a game. Mm-hmm. I can't wait for it.
Is Carolina similar to Winnipeg? Stylistically?
Nah, maybe a little bit, but Carolina's so fast. They forecheck so well. They're so aggressive in the offensive zone. Like, they're the only team that I see consistently that has a defenseman pinch down the wall on the strong side of the puck. And all that means is whatever side of if you cut the ice in half, like from one net all the way down to the other, whatever side the puck is on, that's called the strong side. And ordinarily, you don't pinch there because that player can make a play quickly. The offside defenseman would pinch on a hard rim or whatever. Carolina, their defenseman bearing down on the winger every single time. So it feels like you're completely under siege all the time.
Yeah.
So the Blues, a little bit of puck support in the second period, quicker little passes. You got 3 foot, 4 foot passes, how you beat all that stuff. And the Blues did that, and then obviously things turned around. But that's really the separator for me, is that the Hurricanes are fast and they play so aggressive in the offensive zone.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We're going to get back on clock.
Did you just cut him off?
Yeah, without cutting him off.
Okay.
Marsh, I had very strict and good instructions from Marsh saying that, we need to get back on clock.
I'll ask later.
I thought Carey.
That's just the nonverbals. I'm like, no.
He's like,
Carey's like, thumbs up. All right, it's a fast lane on 101 ESPN. Marsh had kind of an up and down Sunday. Why don't we get to his NFL Week 7 notes next on 101 ESPN? Stalter back with it for Happy Roof Company. I might have been a little ticked off a segment or two ago, but the Happy Roof Company, they're always happy to help you out. When it comes to a leaky roof, a damaged roof, maybe you just got an old roof and you want to replace it, Happy Roof Company can take care of all that for you. In fact, if you call today, the Happy Roof Company will have someone to look at your issue within 24 hours. They do residential and commercial roofing. They have superior high-end products. They have a 10-year labor warranty on all shingle roofs. And when you're talking about experience, they've got over 50 years combined experience in roofing, siding, and gutters. They also have financing options available too. A+ rating with the BBB. They don't chase storms. Not one of these companies that come in and out of certain areas after storms and looking to just get a quick buck and then they leave and then the warranty isn't good because they don't give you one. No, the Happy Roof Company, their market, 100% of their market is in St. Louis and the surrounding areas. Their headquarters are all in Sunset Hills. They've got cost-effective solutions on both flat roofing and metal roofs, and they've got free estimates with competitive pricing. Here's the best part. They work well with insurance companies. So if you got a claim that got denied, but your neighbors are getting all new roofs, call the Happy Roof Company at 314-665-3001. Again, 314-665-3001. They work well with insurance companies. They'd be happy to work with you as well. TheHappyRoof.com is where you can find them. It's the Happy Roof Company. Let's continue our NFL Week 7 game notes. We heard Carey's earlier. Carey's was sensational, too. If you missed them, he had some great thoughts on Mike Tomlin, his former head coach, and the Steelers. Even busted out the prime glasses for that one. So check it out either on YouTube or, check out the podcast later on. Podcast brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Time for Andrew Marsh's game notes. I've been looking forward to these because, unfortunately for Marsh, what a game, but the Vikings lose.
Thanks, Anthony. Thanks for reminding me. My first note, obviously, is about the Vikings and Lions game. I'm frustrated. I'm sad, but I'm not beat up about the loss yesterday for my Minnesota Vikings. That was a tight game. That was a good game. They had their opportunities to win said game, and at the end of the day, the best offense, the best team in the NFC won. And if you would have told me, I said this in the office, you would have told me before the season started that you'd be 5-1 after playing 6 games and you lose by 2 to the team that should have gone to the Super Bowl last year in the NFC. I would have been, okay, sounds good to me. Mm-hmm. And then you're telling me that we have the Rams, Jags, Colts, Titans lined up. Sounds good to me. So I liked what I saw yesterday. I also didn't like what I saw yesterday. I thought the defense got a little exposed, I believe. Jared Goff is unbelievable under the blitz. And every time it seemed like Brian Flores showed pressure, Jared Goff was able to make a play. So that's a good offense, man. It's a good, sound football team, and the Vikings were right there at the end of the day. Could have won that game if Sam Darnold throws a ball maybe a couple inches lower. Justin Jefferson catches it. They run out the clock. Game over. Yeah. You win that game. Or if you convert on the 2-point conversion, Lions tie the game potentially. Maybe they probably go for the touchdown at the end of the game. They probably ended up scoring, to be honest, the way they were running the ball and throwing the ball. But overall, tough loss, but I'm not too beat up about it.
Yeah, I thought that, Kevin O'Connell's so creative. He's such a creative offensive play designer, such a creative offensive coordinator. I didn't like the 2-point conversion call.
I didn't either. I didn't like it either.
There was no motion. There was no crossing. There was nothing. It was just line up and try to beat them.
I don't like those slants at the goal line, just because there's just. I don't know. I just don't love it. Unless you're throwing it to like the best wide receiver in the world.
Or you're running a pick play like the Steelers did last night with George Pickens. And was it Van Jefferson that caught that?
Yeah, that's your favorite player.
Yeah.
It's not a pick. Just a good football play.
Well, like I said, George Pickens ran the pick and then... Oh. Sorry. There's a rubber out.
There you go.
There we go.
Carey is trying to make me feel bad today.
He was.
I walked in.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, you were.
He was. I saw it, heard it, saw it.
I'm happy for you. Meanwhile, I walk in, and it's like I just got like everything hurled at me.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
And I knew it. I knew that. I knew they were frauds.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they got the Rams next week. They should win that game.
Vikings are all right. They're a really good team. That Lions offense, I think, is.
They got some guys. Jahmyr Gibbs is a guy.
Wow, did you see that one? That little outside in?
Yeah, buddy. And didn't stop, didn't break stride. Yeah, buddy.
I love that linebacker, too, on that side. I can't remember who it was, but he got hooked just a little bit. And he's like, threw up his hands.
Oh, he did get held. He got
barely.
He did. He could. If they would have called a holding, I was surprised that they didn't.
That's the difference in the game, right there.
I think it was the right guard or the right tackle grabbed him and held just a little bit too. It was a good block, but held just a half a second too long.
Was it a block or was it a hold, Carey?
It was both. Well, listen, no, it is. It's holding on every single play, Jamie. I'm telling you. They just don't call it. But I'm glad they didn't, because that was a spectacular run by Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah.
Ooh, he's fast.
Yeah, that was. It was a great run. Yeah. He put a move on him.
That guy's good.
Yeah. That offense is
they are
one of the best in football. I mean, from like top to bottom.
Yeah. Offensive line.
Beyond, Goff is good, but if you move just beyond Goff, you talk about that's the best offensive line in football. They've got 2 backs. Jameson Williams wasn't really even used yesterday. He's the speed element, kid from Cardinal Ritter. So, just that Lions team is really good.
we're fine. We're good.
Yeah,
Vikings are never going undefeated.
Vikings are fine.
They're never going undefeated.
Yeah, they're good. They're good.
The fact that they have 5 wins now, compared to where we were before the season started.
You're feeling great.
I'm feeling fine.
Yep.
All right, my second, and this is a question. Are the Texans living up to their hype? I don't think they are.
I didn't think C.J. Stroud played great yesterday. I thought that was one of the first times where I saw C.J. Stroud looking at, like, his eye level went down. And he was looking at the rush constantly. I didn't think he played in rhythm. I don't know what the final numbers look like. So if somebody's got the final numbers and the numbers all look great, okay. I'm just looking at, like, eye tests. C.J. Stroud looked like he was completely out of rhythm and trying to constantly get out of the pocket.
And their numbers don't look great.
Okay, there you go.
10 for 21.
10 for 21?
Yeah.
Okay, so the numbers match.
How many yards?
130.
It's 86.
86?
I thought I was misreading.
I promise you, I did not read. I did not see the stats. I just I was watching him. Like, he don't look good. Like
86 yards.
He was bailing constantly.
So
I don't think that. So to answer your question, no, I don't think Houston.
Nico Collins being out, I think, changes them.
He's got Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, but he's the number one.
He's got Carey's guy.
Yeah, he does. He didn't find
How's that going?
5 for 23. 5 catches for 23 yards. This is not
5
great.
catches for 23 yards.
Holy crap.
I mean, he only had 86, Anthony. Tank Dell didn't have a catch. he got a third of the yards.
Dalton Schultz had a 28-yard reception. That was his best. That was it. Man.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Not great.
No.
Not great.
My last point here for my game notes is that, man, those Atlanta Falcons had a real stinker yesterday. What's going on? Michael Penix Jr. gets in the game.
Yes.
Are things changing in Atlanta, or am I just trying to get you hyped up?
Stop.
Yeah, you got
a week ago.
He can't help
you
himself.
came in here and
He can't help himself.
you might as well have been wearing Kirk Cousins' jersey.
Yep.
You were like, Kirk, I've got to apologize. Kirk Cousins had a hell of a game. Yeah. And now you're like yes. Penix, yes.
Yeah.
That is not fair to your guy, Kirk.
The real Kirk showed up last night. I don't know who the hell. I don't know who the hell that guy was in Philadelphia or Tampa Bay. No, that wasn't on Kirk yesterday. The defense is. If the defense isn't causing turnovers, they're giving up points. Like that's the bottom line. They got no pass rush. Matthew Judon is a ghost.
If you watch him play,
he is a ghost.
If you watch him, it is. I told you this earlier in the year. Watching him on film, I'm like, what is he doing?
You're 100% right.
Not running to the ball, not chasing. Like, you watch T.J. Watt and watch Matthew Judon. And
you watch Max Crosby.
Yeah, watch guys that are getting after the quarterback. And if they don't get there, how they're flying around to go make a play downfield or wherever the ball is. Defensively, it hasn't been great.
No.
And then Kirk Cousins, he threw 2 interceptions. One of them went right through Drake London's hands.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's a catch. You're supposed to catch that ball.
Yep.
Unfortunately, he didn't, and it goes right into the defender's hands.
Yep.
They had a fumble recovery for a touchdown. The Seahawks did.
He should have ate it.
Yeah,
he should have ate it. Took the sack. They weren't going to win anyways. The defense gave up it was a 2-minute drive to Seattle, and Seattle went right down the field. Gave up a huge play to DK Metcalf. Their linebackers, the Falcons linebackers, are all undersized.
Yeah.
And Raheem Morris is using them like they're freaking Urlacher and Derek Brooks. Like they can't cover. They get washed out of running plays. Their defense is going to cost them. Tampa Bay wins that division. Atlanta, be fortunate to be a wild card team. I don't even have them the wild card unless they go to Penix.
How did we get here? Where are we?
You got a bench, Kirk. Real Kirk showed up yesterday. All right, it's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Let's do some advice before.
He's such a bitter person. Golly.
You get paid to be bitter and angry.
Well, you're on point.
That's what you people need from me. You know? None of you guys are going to be bitter and angry. I have to step up. Marsh is too sweet and adorable. Look at him. Young pup. Full of life. Jamie, you're the beer drinking everyman. Carey, you're just incredible overall. I got to be the bitter, angry guy. We need that on this show, you know? So I'm stepping up. Unlike you, Rivers.
Okay.
Advice of former athletes is next. If you have a question, 314-399-9646. Send it in, and a resident athletes will answer them for you next on 101 ESPN.
Gentlemen, are you currently using ED meds? If you are, nobody cares except for me. I care that you're paying too much for those ED meds. Little blue pill, gummies, all that stuff, probably paying way too much for that. Head over to the Medicine Shop in St. Charles. They are your destination for cheap ED meds. They've got a generic called Sildenafil for less than $2 a pill. Prescription is required, of course. And if you have a chance, get over to the pharmacy. Say hi to everybody over there. They got a great staff, great customer service, can answer all of your questions. Cold and flu season right around the corner. You know, maybe need to stock up on some things. Talk to my friends at the Medicine Shop in St. Charles. And if you can't get to the Medicine Shop, don't worry about it. They can come to you. If you have any medicines or prescriptions that you require on a regular basis or medical supplies that you need, they offer free discreet shipping and delivery to your home or your workplace. It's an amazing program. I take full advantage of it, traveling a lot, and the Medicine Shop in St. Charles helps me out tremendously by bringing all that to my home. So again, stop by the location, tell them I said hi. If not, visit them online at stcharles.medicineshop.com. That's stcharles.medicineshop.com.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Blues pick up another win over the weekend, this time against the Carolina Hurricanes. They'll take on the Winnipeg Jets tomorrow, and you can listen to that game right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. Also, over the weekend, City SC lost 4-1 to Minnesota. They finished the MLS regular season 12th in the West with 8 wins, 13 losses, and 13 draws. Tonight on 101 ESPN, you can listen to the Buccaneers and Ravens Monday Night Football for you. Pregame starts at 6:30, and then this Friday we'll have Game 1 of the World Series right here on 101 ESPN as the Yankees take on the Dodgers. Also, former Cardinal Tommy Edman was named NLCS MVP last night. We talked about that earlier in the show. Of course, if you missed anything, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com. You can find the full podcast there. It's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. And coming up next, we have advice with former athletes. So get your text into the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. Advice with former athletes next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Give me some advice, quick.
Advice with former athletes here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter.
I had no idea what we were doing until I heard. Let me get some advice. Quick.
I was wondering what the reaction was for.
What's going on here?
All right, so we've done this every Monday with our resident Super Bowl champion, our resident Stanley Cup champion, Jamie Rivers of the Blues, the Islanders, the Canadiens, the Senators, the Panthers for one game, Phoenix Coyotes. Croatians.
And don't forget my favorite. Did you say the Atlanta Thrashers?
The Atlanta Thrashers. I did not. Yeah, he was a Thrasher.
That's my
the
favorite.
Detroit Red Wing, former Detroit Red Wing, Jamie Rivers.
Thank you.
All right, so what questions do we have for these guys?
All right, so let's start off with the situation in Pittsburgh. You have Justin Fields, who leads his team to a pretty good start for Pittsburgh, and then Russell Wilson comes in, gets the win against the Jets on Sunday Night Football. As a young player who has essentially led your team to a pretty good record, and obviously this doesn't just have to be football, but when you have another player step in, a veteran, and then takes over and also does a good job, like what's going through your mind as a young player? Like you feel like you've played well enough, but also we know what Justin Fields said last week about the reasoning why this is happening is because he feels like maybe he didn't play well enough. Like, what's going through your mind as a young player in that situation?
I think he acknowledged it. He acknowledged it perfectly last week when he said, "If I were playing better, this wouldn't even be a conversation." And I think he's mature enough to understand. The team is doing what's best for the team, and you might not agree with it. You might be frustrated, but if you have an opportunity to do something about it, then you have to do something about it. And I don't think he showed enough, especially with the way that the Steelers looked last night. They looked like a well-balanced team that could rely on both the pass and the run. It didn't start off like that. The city, the fans, the team, everyone there was booing them and booing the decision at that point, but Russell got it together, figured some things out, was able to make some easy completions, and then finally able to throw the ball downfield. So if you're Justin Fields, you have to accept it, be mature, be a pro, not lash out, not be, upset and showing it around the facility all day. Be a good teammate, and hopefully he gets another opportunity, whether it's in Pittsburgh due to some sort of injury or, elsewhere where you get another opportunity to try to start and correct the things that maybe you hadn't done well so far this year.
Yeah, if you're Justin Fields, guess what? Own it and then get back to work. Because there are quarterbacks around the NFL that you can draw inspiration from. Look at Baker Mayfield. How many teams did Baker Mayfield play on before he's found his NFL success? Sam Darnold. How many teams? How many quarterbacks out there? Geno Smith. How many guys out there are finding their game later on because they kept working, kept grinding, kept kept themselves accountable.
Yeah.
So if I'm Justin Fields, I realize that what I did was not good enough. I get back to work, and that's when you really pour into your work. You talk to the video guy, the coaches, the position coaches, all that stuff. You make sure that you're doing everything you can to keep getting better.
Let's go to the Air Comfort Service text line from the 314. How would you react if Deshaun Watson was your teammate and you heard the crowd chanting, "He deserved it"?
So that was a really tough look for Cleveland fans. The ones that were, not all of them, but the ones that were cheering and chanting and things like that. It's just unacceptable, really. And I know there's a lot out there to be upset about when it comes to Deshaun Watson. Certainly a lot of off the field things as well. But I don't know, Carey, how you feel. I just don't like seeing anybody cheering when someone's physically hurt.
Yeah, I didn't like it either, and I think Jameis Winston I think he said it perfectly after the game. You might not like Deshaun Watson, and you have your right to feel that way, all of those things. The man tore his Achilles. I texted you all when I saw it happen. I said, yeah, he probably just tore it. It was bad. And I just don't think that you cheer for someone that gets injured. I don't think you cheer for someone that, I just don't think you cheer for somebody to be injured. It just was a bad look, in my opinion.
Let's go to the Air Comfort Service text line once again from the 636. Bear with me. This is a little bit longer, but I think it's a good one. My son's 9-year-old soccer team finished up their season over the weekend, and my son scored all of their goals, but won for the season and was the goalie instead of subbing to the bench most games and stopped almost everything that came his way. And they still lost the majority of the games, and he started to get down on himself and started calling out his teammates, but in a rude way. And we explained to him about good sportsmanship and leadership. But I wanted to ask you guys if there is a way for me and Coach and how we should go about it to explain to him a better way.
The kid's calling out his teammates?
But in a rude way.
Yeah. You beat his face in. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Holy smokes.
No, not the coach.
The kid.
Yeah.
That's what you suggested.
No. Look, in all seriousness, especially in youth sports, every practice, every game, everything is a teaching moment. And all I would do, honestly, is I would videotape a practice or a game and just ISO on the kid. Don't tell him. Don't tell him nothing. Don't tell him. And when he's doing all this stuff, the antics, the body language, the flailing of the hands, saying rude things, then you sit down with the kid and his parents before a practice or after a practice, and you show them the video. And say, hey, man, this is not acceptable. You're watching yourself here doing all, it's not acceptable. Do you think your teammates want to play hard for you? Mm-hmm. Do you think they want to hear this kind of stuff? And then the parents are there too, so the parents can see that, and then there's follow-up at home too.
Well, it is the parent, right?
This is the parent.
This is the parent. Yeah, this is the parent.
It's the kid.
No, this is the parent.
The parent is saying about their own kid.
About his own kid.
The parent is saying hey, we've done we've gone over.
I thought it was the coach.
No, it's the parent.
No.
Okay, so no, that's
but the
fine.
parent wants to work with the coach to help.
The parent's trying to be.
Do the same thing, except you sit down with the coach, and then you look at the coach and say, Coach, if he or she continues to do this and you don't want to play them, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I think you do have to explain to the player, hey, you're going to lose some, you're going to win some. How you respond in both of those instances, it makes you a better player, it makes you a better person. Part of playing sports is learning how to lose. Yeah. And if you feel like you're the one that is carrying the team, you're 9, I get it. You feel like you're the one that's carrying the team. That can feel, that can be bothersome. It can be frustrating when you feel like maybe your teammates, but instead of attacking them, talk to them, explain to them, help them, show them what you're doing that is allowing you to have success. And now you're learning as a young player how to be a leader as opposed to pointing fingers and blaming, because it can set you up for, just a down the path of a wrong path if you're not taking care of your business, if you're not being a good teammate, it can kind of start to bleed over into other things. So that's what I would say to him.
We got a text message from Grant Francis Fan Club. If he scored all their goals, they need to get him off that team ASAP. Do you guys agree with that?
So that's a slippery slope, right?
Yeah.
Like, let me just respond to, I'll just add real quickly to what Carey and Jamie said. I coach the flag football team, Killian's flag football team. I have zero tolerance for like any of our teammates putting a teammate down.
Right.
I'll bench you right away, and I've done it. I've said, like, oh, come on, you got to throw it up. See ya. I go, take a seat, man. I'll call you in a second.
Yeah, the coach has to have some responsibility in this, too. I mean, there's no way the coach isn't seeing it.
Right.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong.
And I mean, it's got to be egregious, and it doesn't happen. It really doesn't happen that much. We have great kids, but you caught up in the moment, whatever, fine. But you're going to be caught up in the moment on the sidelines. But for me, maybe as a parent, I would say, hey, listen, pick out a sport he's not the top kid in, and say, now, maybe it's baseball. Hey, when you struck out 42 times? Your teammates did not say anything to you.
Yeah, nobody says anything to you.
What if they did? How would you feel, pal? Would you feel good? Would you feel uplifted? You feel like you could do this or not? And maybe there's a perspective. It's tough with kids because kids don't have perspective. But Marsh, you asked about like maybe elevating the kid. He shouldn't be on that team. It's a slippery slope, man.
For sure.
Because you can put him on some select teams, but those select teams are serious. And if you're stepping up in class and you're a kid that's not ready to punch up, you may quit soccer because you don't like it and you're done.
Well, and that doesn't necessarily change the behavior, too.
Right, you don't learn the lesson.
That's a good point.
The kid moves up a level, and now he's not having the success that he wants. He's going to start blaming teammates even more, maybe.
Right.
And then to me, it just...
And Frick James brings up a great point. They should have just cleared it, right, Anthony? Yeah, Frick, you're absolutely right. You clear that ball out of there, and...
You're fine.
You're fine.
Don't worry about it.
In soccer, I think you'd actually just clear it out.
You can kick it down the field.
Yeah.
You're fine.
There's the offsides aren't as big of a deal.
Odds are you're not kicking it all the way down the field out of play.
Right.
You can kick it out of bounds, too, in soccer, Anthony.
You absolutely can.
And the play's over.
Yep. And then you got to go, and the ball's got to go fully behind your head.
And you have to make sure you keep a foot on the ground. Both feet on the ground.
Yeah.
Yes,
I didn't know that the ball had to go behind you.
It does.
I've seen people do flips
that.
and throw the ball in.
Yeah, it's
I
incredible.
have seen that as well.
Yeah.
Interesting how that
Carey
works.
did it the other day.
I did.
But your feet have to both be on the ground when you launch the ball. Otherwise, it's a no good.
Well, what's the point of doing the flip?
I was going to ask the same thing. What's the point in it?
I'm just telling you guys. I see these kids all the time. They lift a foot up. They're other team's ball. It's all right.
Makes sense.
Yep.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Do we need a new Gauntlet contestant, by the way, Marsh?
Yes.
You don't know that.
I remember.
Who won?
I did.
Remember the
Did you?
time.
I think
Was it hockey? You did win in hockey, I think.
I think I beat Jeremy.
We do.
Yeah.
We do need a new
You beat
Gauntlet
Jeremy.
contestant.
Text in right now.
Carey
Gauntlet.
doubting me.
No, I said.
Oh, you're doubting me, Carey.
Sorry.
It's fine.
I never doubt you again.
No, I understand, okay?
My
It's fine.
apologies.
Air Cover Service text line 314-399-9646.
And you lose.
Wow.
Talk about good teammate.
Hey, you think you know a guy?
He needs a lesson.
You're a bad teammate right
Meet
now.
with your parents after this, okay?
At this rate, there's one thing in sports I think we can count on almost every week, and it is not a bad thing. That's next on 101 ESPN. Hey, when it comes to Missouri Athletic Club, I love that they've got two different clubhouses. I use them for different things. When it comes to the downtown location, I like to go down there for the speaker series that they have pretty consistently every couple of months. They have a new speaker series that's interesting, or maybe one of the bigger events that the Missouri Athletic Club is having. Cardinals games. I love to go down to the Missouri Athletic Club, park down there. Take in the Jack Buck Grill. But when it comes to the West Clubhouse, that's the one that I go to pretty frequently before work. Working out, business center, catch something to eat. I really enjoy going to the Missouri Athletic Club and using it for different things. West Class, perfect for the family too. Various clubs when it comes to signing up the kids, things. They got trunk or treating a little bit here this month. That love participating in it. That's the MAC, my MAC, Missouri Athletic Club. All right, college football has been absolutely sensational. And I think that there's one thing that we can kind of bank on each and every week in college football, and it's not a bad thing. At this rate, we can expect movement in the college football rankings each and every week.
Every week.
We've gotten it thus far. There has been nothing standard about college football this year. There's been nothing predictable about college football. Each and every week, there is either a massive upset or a semi-massive upset or a near upset that has made the college football landscape change. This past weekend, we got Tennessee beating Alabama. Alabama's now got 2 losses. 2 losses on the season. There's no elite team. We had a fairly big upset with Georgia and Texas. And Carey, every time I feel like you say there is an elite team in college football, that team
There's not.
That team does not survive.
Mm-hmm.
And Tennessee was the team earlier in the year that you said was elite.
What do I know?
And they lost. We don't know anything. We all don't know.
We're idiots, remember?
Yeah.
Texas.
I thought they were the one.
They got slapped. And
What did they ever?
Yeah.
You know, I'm glad too that play, the one with the pass interference, and I'm glad that didn't make a difference in the end.
Yeah.
I really am. I'm glad
you picked
that
the flag up, like you said, it was an interference. But it wasn't.
It wasn't
interference.
They got the call right.
They got the call right. Like, it was not interference. The flag shouldn't have been thrown in the first place. So at the end of the day, I think the call is right. I think people get frustrated. Well, why'd you call? People make mistakes. I'm okay if you make a mistake and you correct it.
Yeah.
Which I think should be the goal of all of it, which was the right call.
Absolutely. But Texas loses to Georgia. It's just been a fun college football season. Jamie, you said earlier in the year that this is the most fun you've had watching college football. The beautiful thing is that you may not think it's a great matchup, but you know it has at least some appeal because the college football playoff has been expanded, and you wind up being sucked into some of these matchups. And there's a game in each window on a Saturday that is intriguing.
It's chaos. We were broadcasting the game down at Enterprise and in the it's not the Bally's room anymore. The FanDuel room, I guess what we'll call it now, is where we go, like where I go between periods and look at some of the stats and whatnot. And the games are on in there all the time. And I was like praying. I wanted Georgia to win. I wanted Tennessee to. I wanted chaos.
You're an agent for chaos.
Yeah, some of the other people, some of the other staff members who are awesome people, by the way. Tim, one guy's like, you just want chaos, right? I'm like, I love it. I love it. I want to have like 5 teams that should be number 1. I want to have 25 teams that all think they should be in the playoff.
Right.
I want this to be horrible on the selection committee.
Yeah.
I want them to be like, no right answers for any of it.
That reminds me of how people are like, well, if you have 6 teams, you'll complain about the 6th one. Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, this year's going to be brutal.
If you have 12, the 12th team will have a complaint. Yeah, it's part of the fun. It's part of the chaos. Part of the drama.
So, like for me, like I talked to you about this in the office, Anthony. But like if Bama loses the SEC championship, that'll give them 3 losses.
You're done.
I know you're done. In theory, though, they could still be better than a team that's going to make the playoff.
Yeah.
So it's weird because you could have better teams with losses that aren't in the playoff because they lost to other good teams.
And Jamie, isn't that the beauty of this, right? The regular season, which people argued would have less importance, actually has more importance. So Alabama might be a really good team. Alabama might be better than one of the group of 5 team that didn't have, the best schedule, the hardest schedule. Yet Alabama's got to do it on the field in the regular season if they want to be there in the end. So I think that this is a solid system that they have here.
I think it's amazing. As you said, each week there's chaos. The number 1 team goes down. Last week it was Bama. A couple of weeks ago it was Bama. This week it was Texas losing to Georgia. Like it hopefully next week it's Oregon. I'm hoping for more chaos, right? And I am excited. I think it's been a great football season. I think you've seen really good players. You've seen, a lot of good things from a lot of these teams, and so I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how this all shakes out. A team like Boise State, who didn't play last week, dropped 2 spots just because they didn't play because of all of the things. You got Iowa State, who is undefeated. You got Miami still undefeated. You got Indiana as an undefeated team right there at 13. Like, you got all of these teams that are working their way up, and at the end of the day, it's going to be I think the committee, I'm pretty sure they will get it correct. There will be a team that is sitting on the outside looking in that is wondering, well, how did I? And it may boil down to, like, who has the worst loss. Like, does Notre Dame have one of the worst losses this year? Probably, against Northern Illinois. And they may be a team sitting at number 12 that is on the outside looking in when everything is finished and everything is stacked up. So, I'm rooting for just continue to seeing great fun, great teams play well. I'm rooting for my Illini. I told you all, a couple weeks ago, it'd be like two ships passing in the night. When Illinois passed up Mizzou, when they passed up Mizzou, it'd be two ships in the night.
He doesn't
very, very quietly. Mizzou is behind us and Illinois in front. So
that's a great win.
That was a great win. Great win against Michigan, man.
Beat the defending champs.
Beat the defending national champs.
That's why you didn't go there.
I was going to text you all that. That's what I'm talking about. I know. Yeah. I know these things.
You should have called, Carey.
I should have went, actually. I should have stood
at least,
up.
Yeah. We should have gone to Ann Arbor.
Northwestern was hot at the time, though. They had won.
They were in the 90s. That's right. They were in the late 90s. Darnell Autry.
Yeah. Damian Anderson. They had some running backs.
They certainly did.
They were pretty good.
Yeah. All right, it's a fast lane on 101 ESPN. We got the Gauntlet next.
Jamie Rivers back with you here, joined by my good friend Tracy Bibb from the Bibb Agency. Tracy, as you know, I've got 3 of my children that are driving, going to be adding another one in January or February. What can people do that have a lot of cars that they need to insure?
Yeah, right now we're seeing a lot of companies that are taking a lot of rates and going up or canceling people. And what we've done is we've got a brand new auto product that if you have a lot of vehicles in your household or you have a lot of kids in your household, young drivers, that kind of stuff, we are seeing some great rates. We're beating a lot of the competition, so a great time to give us a call and let's see what we can do.
Yeah, it is. It's always a great time to call Tracy and the Bibb Agency, just even to check out your policies or just information, anything you've got going on. They're going to do their best to help you out. And I can tell you this from my own personal experience that it's great to have the Bibb Agency on your side. They're always one phone call away from helping you or your loved ones through some crazy situations that might happen. So please pick up the phone, call Tracy at 314-328-4260. Again, that number is 314-328-4260. Tracy, thank you so much.
Thanks so much. Go Blues.
warriors. 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you survive the gauntlet?
Brought to you by Blue Note Roofing. Roofing, siding, and gutters. Visit BlueNoteRoofingSTL.com for a free inspection.
404, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers. It's a officially licensed Rolex jeweler. It's a fast lane. Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, and Anthony Stalter. And we welcome in Tim. What's up, Tim?
Hey, not too much. How you guys doing?
We're doing great today. Appreciate you joining us today. First time?
First time.
All right, welcome in. All right, would you like to take on Marsh, CD, Jamie, or me?
Let's go with Jamie, please.
Oh.
Hey, Jamie Rivers. Okay, here
All right,
we go.
Tim. All right, I see where we're at here on a Monday. I got you. All right, buddy.
Start the week off right.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Good luck, my man.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
So Tim walked into the jail and went, okay, I'm going right after the biggest, baddest mofo. I like it, Tim. Okay, so Tim, tell Marsh to spin that wheel. One of the biggest.
Go ahead and spin that wheel, Marsh.
Jamie hoped that I would lose. Should I hope the same thing?
Absolutely.
All right, let's go, Tim.
If you're going to ask me that, I'm going to give you the revenge answer, always.
Now, Tim, we didn't ask you what category you wanted until we spun the wheel. What category are you hoping for?
Anything but random.
All right. How's baseball sound?
That works. Let's do it.
All right, there you go. So, Tim, you're going to get 4 baseball questions. We're going to give the same 4 baseball questions to Jamie. Each question is worth 2 points unless you ask for the options. If you ask for the options, those questions become worth 1 point. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Question number 1. The 2024 National League Gold Glove finalists at shortstop include Cardinals rookie Mason Wynn, who won this position's award last season. So who was the 2023 National League Gold Glove winner at shortstop?
Let me get the options on that, please.
Sure. Francisco Lindor, Orlando Arcia, or Dansby Swanson?
Let's go Swanson.
Final answer? All right.
Question number 2. Despite their NLDS loss to the Mets, the Phillies have extended manager Rob Thompson through 2026. Whom did Thompson replace as Philadelphia's skipper on June 3rd, 2022?
Oh, man. Let me get the options.
Was it Ryan Sandberg, Joe Girardi, or Charlie Manuel?
Sandberg. Final option. Or final answer.
Did you say Sandberg?
Sandberg, please, yes.
Question number 3. Who was pulled from the Dodgers World Series clinching win on October 27th, 2020 because he had tested positive for COVID-19?
Oh, geez. Gonna need the options for that one.
Your options are Max Muncy, Cody Bellinger, or Justin Turner.
Ooh. I think Bellinger. Final answer.
All right, Tim. Last question for you. On August 10th, 2016, Alex Reyes made his major league debut by coming out of the Cards bullpen. Name the rival team that Reyes set down 1-2-3 on that electric evening at Busch.
I'm going to take a shot here. I'm going to go ahead and say the Cubs. Final answer.
All right. We welcome back Jamie from the Cone of Silence. Tim, how you feeling?
Not great.
Hey, you're on, you know? You're on, you're having fun.
Yep.
All right. Jamie Rivers is back from the Cone of Silence right now. Jamie, how was it?
Oh, it was great. We have Mike Ryder in there. We got Carey in there as well. We're chit-chatting a little bit, so.
Not our Carey.
Yeah. No. Different Carey.
Yeah. All right. We will have some Cardinals updates for you here after the Gauntlet.
Yeah, you will.
Some interesting coaching nuggets. All right, Jamie, but you got to get locked in.
Okay. What do we get?
Baseball.
I love baseball.
Jamie.
Yeah.
Pack a lunch.
Okay.
Here we go. Question number 1, Jamie. The 2024 National League Gold Glove finalists at shortstop include Cardinals rookie Mason Wynn, who won this position's award last season.
Yeah, I'm going to need the options, please.
Francisco Lindor.
No.
Orlando Arcia.
No.
Dansby Swanson.
Yes. Final answer.
Question number 2. Despite their NLDS loss to the Mets, the Phillies have extended manager Rob Thompson through 2026. Whom did Thompson replace as Philadelphia skipper on June 3rd, 2022?
I think I'll know this when I hear it. Options, please.
Was it Ryan Sandberg, Joe Girardi, or Charlie Manuel?
Joe Girardi. Final answer, please.
Question number 3. Who was pulled from the Dodgers World Series clinching win on October 27th, 2020 because he had tested positive for COVID-19?
Ooh. That was... that was what's his name. And he came running out after the game with a mask on and all this craziness, and people were getting all riled up. That was Justin Turner. Final answer.
All right. Final question, Jamie.
Okay.
On August 10th, 2016, Alex Reyes made his major league debut by coming out of the Cardinals bullpen. Name the rival team that Reyes set down 1-2-3 on that electric evening at Busch.
Rival team. Okay. Give me the options, please.
Cincinnati Reds, Milwaukee Brewers, Chicago Cubs.
Yeah, it didn't help. When you meant rival. Yeah, when you said it, you meant it. Okay. Cincinnati, Milwaukee, or Chicago. I feel like Chicago is just too obvious. So it's Finkel and Einhorn. I'll go with the Cincinnati Reds. Final answer.
All right,
that one.
All right, here we go. The 2024 National League Gold Glove finalists at shortstop include Cardinals rookie Mason Wynn, who won this position's award last season. Tim, you went with Dansby Swanson. Jamie, you went with Dansby Swanson. Correct answer is
Dansby Swanson.
Both of you needed the options for that one, so we have a 1-1 tie. Despite their NLDS loss to the Mets, the Phillies have extended manager Rob Thompson through 2026. Whom did Thompson replace as Philadelphia's skipper on June 3rd, 2022? Tim, with the options, you went Ryan Sandberg. Jamie, with the options, you went Joe Girardi. Correct answer is...
It is Joe Girardi.
Jamie's up 2-1. All righty. Yeah. Who was pulled?
Alrighty.
Well,
yeah.
Who was pulled from the Dodgers World Series clinching win on October 27th, 2022 because he had tested positive for COVID-19? Tim, with the options, you went with Cody Bellinger. Jamie, without the options, you went Justin Turner. Correct answer is...
Justin Turner.
Justin Turner. On August 10th, 2016, Alex Reyes made his major league debut by coming out of the Cardinals bullpen. Name the rival team that Reyes set down 1-2-3 on that electric evening at Busch. Without the options, Tim, you went with the Chicago White Sox. I'm sorry, the Chicago Cubs, excuse me.
Wait, what?
I saw Jamie's face and I realized I erred. Chicago Cubs, excuse me, Tim, sorry. And we know from Jamie's taking the options that the Cubs were an option.
Yeah.
Jamie, you went with the Cincinnati Reds. Tim.
You have chosen poorly.
You lose.
Correct answer is?
It is the Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah, Jamie 5, Tim 1. Sorry, Tim. That was a tough one, man.
Yep, no worries. That was fun. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for playing. Thanks for listening to the show.
Good job, Tim.
Yep.
Take care, buddy.
See you guys.
See ya. Jamie, well done.
That last one was just a little...
I don't know why you needed to, stomp on the body when it was already gone. But
well, you poked the bear, Anthony. That's what happens, okay?
I was trying to figure out if there was a dramatic way to do it.
No.
There wasn't.
No way. You tried.
I did. I looked for a second. I'm like, yeah, it doesn't matter. Nice job, Jamie.
Thank you.
Well done. Okay. like I said, we got some Cardinals updates, coaching-wise, next in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
Hey, it's Carey, and I want to tell you about my friends over at Scrap Mart Metals. If you're a contractor or you own a business that needs recycling, Scrap Mart Metals can help you. They are tailor-made for your business to meet your schedule and your budget. Job site cleanup for contractors can be a mess. If you set up a business account with Scrap Mart to recycle that metal, it'll be one less thing you have to do during cleanup. You'd be amazed at how the scrap metals add up and how it can help your business's cash flow. If you own heavy equipment, it breaks down over and over again. You repair it over and over again. Eventually, the time is going to come where you have to get rid of it. Scrap Mart will come and get it out of your way. They'll haul your equipment to one of their locations and get you a check the same day. Or if you want to haul it yourself, they have 3 convenient locations to choose from: Valley Park, Peevely, Jonesburg. If it's metal, they will buy it. Copper wire, brass, stainless steel, aluminum batteries, electric motors, steel, cast iron, and more. It is recycling made easy. They offer a convenient drive on scale. You will always get the highest payout. You will always get top dollar for your scrap metals. Just visit them at scrapmartmetals.com. Again, that's scrapmartmetals.com.
Athletic. She's our Cardinals insider with The Athletic, tweeting out about 23 minutes ago that the Cardinals have made changes to their coaching staff, according to her sources. John Jay, former Cardinal John Jay, will join the Major League staff after 2 years with the Marlins. Willie McGee has chosen to step down, but will remain in the organization as a special advisor. So John Jay, part of the coaching staff now. Willie McGee has decided to take a step back. Already Ricky Bobby chimes in from the Snake Pit. Can we please get Skip back here, too? He is a great piece for this organization. Bless you, Marsh. Yeah, that would be great. I would love Skip back within the organization. It's a shame that Willie has taken a step down, but at least he's still back. He's still with the organization. I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't know what John Jay brings from a coaching standpoint. Good, bad, indifferent. I don't know. I know that he was a well-liked player, but there's plenty of well-liked players that, are out there. He at least brings the former player perspective to things. He knows what it's like to grind it out. He's somebody that could help certainly with the outfielders. Other than that, I think this is a move that's just okay.
What coach? Like, what kind of coach is he?
I don't know.
Just like, is he
He's going to join the major league staff?
Not the hitting coach.
No,
we still don't.
I'm surprised he's not with Skip wherever he goes. Because
Skip's nowhere right now.
Well, maybe Skip will be back.
He's gonna get a job
with us.
Skip somewhere, Jamie.
Wait. Technically, he's somewhere.
Yeah, it's not like that documentary that we saw when half the population got eliminated.
Yeah. Well, they came back.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, it took a full 3 hours to get him back.
But it worked.
Yeah, Skip will be back too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just don't know here in St. Louis.
I won't be here.
He was a first base coach with Miami. He'd get his chest slapped.
Yeah.
Luis Ariz would get a base hit.
There you go.
You don't have to worry about that anymore.
It's perfect.
About the base hits?
Oh, Marsh.
What?
I see what you did there.
He's not on our team, Anthony. I don't know what you're talking about.
You saying don't worry about the base hits.
I meant getting slapped in the chest.
Because there won't be anyone to slap him on the chest.
Well, that's a Luis Ariz thing. Not everybody does that.
What?
I don't know why you're trying to twist my words. You tried telling everybody else about an hour ago to stop twisting your words. Don't be twisting mine now.
You're right, Marsh.
Anthony, don't twist Marshy's.
That's my fault.
Don't.
Jamie, that was like you got to at least get in the ballpark. You're normally in the ballpark. That one I felt like you forced.
I did finish
it.
It.
Cut off.
No, that one felt forced.
That was
Oh, I wasn't trying to do anything.
I'm just saying, Jamie. You're better than that.
Probably. Probably.
Now he's got to regroup. Man.
You know who I blame? You know who I blame? Your kids. You got you all distracted with their text.
Donkeys.
Yeah.
What happened? What would happen when we didn't have phones?
I don't know. I'm willing to find out, though.
Right. What would you have done? You would have had to figure it out on your own.
Used to call my mom on the work phone, like, "Hey, may I speak to Annette Slack, please?"
Yes.
My kids would be calling
my mom from a payphone at school.
My kids would be calling poor Jody. Hey, Jody, can you walk down the hall and grab my dad for me?
Jody's at reception.
Yes.
Fantastic. Yeah. No, I used to have to go to the payphone. Mom, I forgot my jersey. Please help me. Who is this? Mom, you know it's me. I'm running out of money. Yeah. All right.
No.
So there's that. That's part of the news.
Oh, what's the rest of the news?
It's time to find out what's going on in the sports world with What's Trending Now. Brought to you by Goodwill. Donate a car and get tickets to the St. Louis Cardinals.
Why Marsh is one of the best in the biz.
All right, gentlemen, we've been talking Cardinals baseball for the past 4 minutes.
It's brutal, too.
Tommy Edman, former Cardinal, won NLCS MVP. We mentioned that earlier in the show. And we were debating on whether or not it was a good trade and whatnot. And we had a lot of people chiming in saying, you know what, Tommy Edman really wasn't that great down the stretch. But he's gotten hot. You got to ride the hot guy, as we know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you think that this is just literally a case of a dude who just got hot at the right time? We've seen it happen a ton in Major League Baseball, especially in the postseason.
Yeah.
Like a Cody Ross. Like you're not going to put Cody Ross on your team and think he's going to be a difference maker at the beginning of the year. He's a guy that comes along and has a great postseason run and you win a World Series.
Yeah.
Like, do you feel like Tommy Edman's in that ballpark? Are we just overplaying this as Cardinal fans because we just continue to see this happen?
I think yes.
Sure does happen a lot.
It does, unfortunately. Yeah, I wouldn't put, and I understand what you're saying, Marsh. I wouldn't put Tommy Edman in the Cody Ross category. Like, Tommy Edman's a better player. But I also think, too, like, he's joining a really stacked lineup. And I know he's hitting cleanup, but whether it was cleanup or leading off or he was seventh, I mean, we've seen Tommy Edman catch fire like this. Mm-hmm. And granted, for him, he's doing it right now on the biggest stage. That's great. You gave up Tommy Edman because you needed pitching, and unfortunately, it didn't work for you.
Next year, Anthony.
Maybe.
Yeah. You have to think positively.
Oh yeah.
Well, and for Tommy Edman, I mean, it helps when you got guys around you that are really good.
Oh, name 2.
Yeah, Mookie Betts and Shohei Ohtani.
Okay.
I can give you 3. Freddie Freeman. Will Smith. You want me to keep going? Okay. All right. Stop. They're really good. That's a really good team over there. I'm excited about the World Series too. I know you guys didn't want to see the 2 best teams in the National League and the American League face off. You know, you guys wanted to see Cleveland and
Don't you put that hate on us, Ricky Bobby. Nobody wanted to see Cleveland.
You wanted to see the Mets.
I did.
Subway Series. It's Shohei Ohtani. You want to see him? You seen him? L.A., New York. Let's go.
Make fun of a Subway Series.
No.
It was a great series. Mike Piazza.
Yeah, that was good. Robert
Derek
Clemens
Jeter.
throwing the bat at him. It was good.
Jorge Posada.
How did it work out?
Mariano Rivera.
Yeah, good players.
Other Mets players.
Exactly. Who else, Anthony? Who else was on that team? On the Mets? Mike Piazza. Yeah.
Edgardo Alfonso.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this Dodgers and Yankees got star power.
They do, yeah. I think it's great. I think what you misread was Jamie's new infatuation with the Mets.
Yes.
And my desire to see the Dodgers win nothing. I think you got confused.
The Dodgers can still win nothing versus the Yankees.
And I'll tell you what, if they don't win with this roster, then it's a travesty, and they should be eliminated from baseball.
Now, let me ask you this: how cool would it eliminate from baseball? I think that's a little too far.
I
think you
sign Shohei Ohtani, and you trade for Tyler Glasnow and Teoscar Hernandez, and then you sign Yamamoto, and you don't win when you also have Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman. You are relegated.
Now, let me ask you this. We heard conversations of maybe Shohei pitching. Now, you're telling me this would not be must-see TV. Game 7, Shohei says, you know what? I'm pitching. Give me Soto, give me Judge, and I'm going to go up against those guys. You telling me the world does not want to see that?
Yeah. No. Again.
You're not going to get that with the damn Mets, man.
Whoa.
Carey, again.
They got Jose Quintana.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
You're right. I apologize.
Carey, again. Jamie fell in love with the Mets.
He did.
I hate the Dodgers. It had nothing to do with not wanting to see a Dodgers-Yankees World Series.
I hate that story.
It was romantic.
It was not. You like the OMG song. I saw you dancing to it in the hallway, shedding a tear.
I feel like that's
not to hear it anymore.
My God.
Do you guys think this will be the most watched World Series ever?
No.
I don't know about ever, but I think it's going to draw.
You just said no just because. He had no reason for saying no other than he wanted
I think it's going to get mega ratings.
Sometimes.
You got everything. You got the star power. You got coast to coast. You've got everything. This World Series sets up. You've got 2 historic teams, huge markets, star power. Like this is the best Major League Baseball could hope for.
Yes, I agree.
So it is. The ratings are going to kill.
Just say you all don't love baseball.
I do love baseball.
Then you should want the best matchup.
I don't like the Dodgers. I want to see them lose.
Oh, Carey.
So you'll be hate watching.
No doubt, no question. Yeah, and I fully admit that. So they're like, "Oh, you're a hater." Yeah, I admit it. You got me.
There you go.
Yeah,
I appreciate you.
You good?
Your honesty. You've been spot on today.
I haven't. But I've been honest.
You have been very honest
and open. Yep. And like you said earlier, and I appreciate it. I've taken accountability.
You have. Yep.
It's my fault today, guys.
618 says, "I hope both teams lose." And that's spot on for him.
618. One way to go about that. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
That would mean something catastrophic happened.
Yeah, not good.
Let's not do that.
I mean, somebody's got to win.
Somebody does.
Somebody does have to win. Yep, technically. Sports Six Pack is next. 314. We covered a lot of ground today. I just remember our first conversation about, one of our first conversations about Brady Cook dying on the field. How he doesn't need to do that. That was in the 2 o'clock hour. Boy, we've covered a lot of ground today. Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. Send in your questions there. Sports Six Pack next.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Blues pick up a 4-3 victory against the Carolina Hurricanes over the weekend. They'll take on the Winnipeg Jets tomorrow on home ice. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. City SC lost 4-1 to Minnesota over the weekend. They end the year 8-13-13. Tonight on 101 ESPN, you can listen to Monday Night Football as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers take on the Baltimore Ravens. Pregame for that one starts at 6:30. We just got done talking about the World Series. That will begin on Friday between the Yankees and Dodgers. So we have our Sports Six-Pack coming up next. If you have a question you want to send our way, do so using the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. Six-Pack coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is brought to you by Paramount Men's Medical Center. Suffering from ED or PE? Your first treatment is free at ParamountMen'sMedical.com.
All right, time for our Sports Six-Pack here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, and Anthony Stalter, Andrew Marsh with your questions via the Air Comfort Service text line.
Question number 1.
All right, we got a text from the 6-1 Hate. I'm a Cardinals fan, not a Yankee or Dodgers fan. If the Cardinals aren't playing, then fast lane the teams. So the question I have for you, if you are a fan, how do you go about watching, in this case, the World Series? Two teams that you absolutely hate. Do you watch it just for the idea of there being good baseball at hand? You want to watch good baseball, considering you are a Cardinal fan. You didn't watch that all summer. Do you want to see good baseball, or do you hate watch these teams and hope that, like, what do you hope if you hate these teams? Like, there's no, like, it's not a win-win situation.
Yeah, just don't watch that. Yeah, don't. I mean, if you're him, don't watch.
But like, how could you not watch? This is like one of the, on paper, could be the greatest World Series ever.
But Marsh, some people don't care about sports as much as they care about their team. And it sounds like a 6-1 Hate. If the Cardinals aren't winning World Series, my man is upset, and that's fine. That's his right. So if he just wants the Cardinals to win a championship and that's it, he's going to be upset. If not, then don't watch. There's so many other things to watch. We talk about documentary. We give documentary suggestions all the time.
All the time.
We gave one last week.
Where
the
a
guy reached his arm into the car and pulled the steering wheel out. He had his metal arm. It was amazing.
Yeah,
it was a great.
We showed Carey is hooked on the doc now.
I was like, whoa. Didn't know that was possible.
Yeah,
pretty cool. Yeah, don't watch. You're not forcing. Nobody's forcing you to watch. Don't watch. Be mad or don't.
You don't have to be mad.
You can watch.
You can watch.
There are. I don't know how many channels we have on TV now. Thousands. Like, find something else.
I have a really good idea for the 6-1 Hate.
What's that?
I have a team that he can root for. There's obviously only two. We have the Dodgers and we have the Yankees. Tommy Edman, an LCS MVP, right? Maybe if he has another good series, he could be World Series MVP. And I know that the 6-1 Hate does not like the Cardinals front office, so why don't you root against the Cardinals front office and root for the Dodgers?
Wow, Marshy,
it's not bad. It's that you did some gymnastics on that, but that was good.
You really pulled it back onto the rails here. Well done.
Jack Flaherty.
I guess Jack Flaherty.
You got some guys you can root for.
Yeah, and Luke Weaver didn't hurt you. Like, that trade didn't hurt you. So,
I'm trying to pick a team for him. Now you're naming another play. And you know what? You're right, because Juan Soto could have been a Cardinal if people would have believed hard enough. And now he's on the Yankees.
Yeah, well, and we had Dylan Carlson that we didn't want to part with. Let's be serious here.
He's still. Don't worry about
Maybe it's a harder decision than I thought.
Give it some thought, Marsh. For now, 6-1 Hate can just not watch.
Maybe fine.
Yeah,
watch the Blues. They're playing good. They're playing well.
Yeah, right now they are.
Watch the Blues.
Kind of like that.
Root for Robert. There you go.
Question number 2.
From 618, with Deshaun Watson going down yesterday, is his career now over?
I don't think it's over. I think he'll get, another opportunity. They're paying him too much money. And it's guaranteed. They're not going to let that money just go away without giving him another opportunity. In terms of him playing well enough to be a starting quarterback in the NFL, I don't know. He wasn't playing well enough to really be a starting quarterback in the NFL now without the injury. And so coming back after an injury, I have no clue what to expect.
Was this an Achilles?
Yes. It was a quarterback draw.
He's done.
You could see him. He stepped back and tried to push off of the right foot, and you can see you can watch it pop. Like, you can see it. And so it
rolled.
Was, yeah. You see the calf kind of pop, and he went down immediately in pain.
Why do I feel like there's more Achilles injuries now than ever?
Oh, name another one.
Kirk Cousins, Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, there's a lot.
Christian McCaffrey. I don't know if he tore his, but it's bad. Yeah, it's injured.
I feel like didn't J.K. Dobbins do it too?
There's a running back, smaller running back, Tariq Cohen, tore his training a couple of years ago.
Yeah, he's with the Bears, right?
Yep. The Bears. Yep.
Bears.
So yeah, I think he's done. He stunk beforehand. Now he's dealing with Achilles. Yeah, but Carey's right. The Browns probably are just they'll slow play it. Like next year, be like, hey, you're our guy, but you look like you need more time, like 18 weeks. So you take 18 weeks.
He's gonna be like, that's the whole season.
Is it? Oh, jeez, I didn't. Not if we make the playoffs.
I didn't realize that. Yeah, you'd be ready for the playoffs.
Okay.
Yeah. Was that the worst contract in NFL history being fully guaranteed?
Probably.
MD 2020. Yeah, I said in the snake pit. MD 2020. That's the worst contract.
Is there
in sports?
Well,
in the history
sports.
What about baseball?
Yeah,
because baseball has some pretty bad contracts, right?
They're all guaranteed as well.
There
that one has to be the worst because it's salary cap. You know what I mean? Like you can fast lane up a contract in baseball and still be okay if you got enough money.
Question number 3.
From the 618, what does the FanDuel buyout of Bally Sports mean, and can the Cardinals still use the media as an excuse to not spend money?
I like the
media.
I don't think it's the media that does that.
No.
The Cardinals do that.
Yes.
We just relay what they're doing.
Yeah. So the FanDuel thing, as far as I know, and I'm certainly not in the closed-door meetings that go on, is that Diamond Sports Group is inching out of bankruptcy, and based on that, FanDuel TV or FanDuel Sports Network has decided to purchase the naming rights of the regional sports network. Where it goes from there, I don't know. I've asked this question too for obvious reasons. I'd like to know what's going on. And from what I understand, it's a 1-year thing with the NHL right now. I have not heard anything about Major League Baseball. The payment from these cable networks to the teams is going to be I believe, I don't know for sure, so don't quote me on it, but I believe it's going to be half of what it used to be. So who knows? I do know that a lot of the network and all that is hinging a lot on the big gambling vote that's coming up here soon. So if you have a stance on that one way or another, get out there and vote on what Proposition 2, I believe, is what it is. But that's all I know for now. No idea if that's going to help, hurt, or whatever to the Cardinals, because I haven't heard anything about that.
By the way, we did get a text from the 314 in terms of who some of our listeners will be rooting for in the World Series. 314 says, neither World Series team had an official mascot. My daughter and I will not be watching. Bam.
They need a mascot.
They don't have a mascot.
They don't have a mascot.
All right. Interesting.
What would a Dodgers mascot look like? What do you think that is?
Aren't they named after trolleys? Is that what?
Yeah, it was a Brooklyn Dodgers. So it's weird that they kept that name based on the fact that it's a Brooklyn thing.
Yeah, same with the Los Angeles Lakers, the Minneapolis Lakers. Yeah. That makes sense.
The Lakers. I've been to LA a lot. And,
you don't see many lakes?
Don't see a lot of lakes. No.
You're not looking hard enough, Jamie.
You mean the Great Lakes of LA?
Yeah, that one.
They're out there.
You gotta look harder.
Called puddles.
Hey, I think I was right. The Brooklyn Dodgers name comes from the Trolley Dodgers, A nickname given to the team in the early 1900s. It was a reference to the Brooklyn residents' skill at avoiding city trolley cars, which were a complex network in the borough.
There you go. Droid FX also said Trolley Dodgers in the snake pit.
So it's just a giant trolley.
So what would your mascot be, though? Just a trolley?
Just a trolley.
Yeah. Weird? No?
Get out the way.
Or would you just lean into the L.A., California thing and have something else?
No, dude, trolley.
You don't want to
What
lean
about
into the trolley.
That one.
What would you have for your mascot there? What? Carey, your thoughts?
I have none.
What question was that?
That wasn't a question. I just brought it up.
No, which question are we on?
Oh, we're going to be on 4. So
let's carry this over.
Yeah.
We'll think about it, Jamie. Next on 101 ESPN.
Who you choose to sell your St. Louis area home, well, that matters, especially in this changing market. We all know a few realtors, myself included, but I only recommend one realtor, and that is Gloria Lou with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, because Gloria's different. And she's different because she guarantees to sell your home at your agreed upon price, or Gloria will buy it herself. And she guarantees all of that in handwriting. And when you're selling your home, you want the most money and the least hassle. That's exactly what you get with Gloria Lou of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Check this out. After 6 months, 2 separate agents failed to sell the Wheelers family home. With no more time to waste, they decided to give Gloria Lou a call. Within a few days, Gloria was able to get them multiple offers and sold their home at nearly 99% of list price, because Gloria already has the buyers. That's right. Her database has got thousands of buyers that are sitting there waiting to buy your home, drives more traffic to your listing, and just like the Wheelers, hopefully more money in your pocket. So please pick up the phone right now and call Gloria Lou at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888. Or you can always visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Remember, conditions do apply. Gloria and the seller must agree upon the sales price as well as the possession date.
Answer the question.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six Pack is brought to you by Paramount Men's Medical Center. Suffering from ED or PE? Your first treatment is free at ParamountMen'sMedical.com.
All right, let's continue our Sports Six-Pack here on the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter, Andrew Marsh. Go.
Question number 4.
All right, from the 314, any concern about Jordan Kyrou? He has 0 points in his last 3 games and 0 goals in his last 5 games. Only 2 goals on the year. Any concern about Jordan Kyrou as of late?
I don't know about concern. I would like to see him scoring more. My biggest concern about Jordan Kyrou is just he's not shooting the puck as much. He's looking for other options when you're probably the best option. You know, like he had a couple of chances in that last game. He's in the slot and he decides to pass out of the scoring. What?
What'd you call me?
No, Anthony. It's the slot area on the
hockey term.
Yeah,
got it.
Yeah, figure it out.
Carey gets it.
Yeah,
it's hockey guy.
Yep.
But it's never a good idea to pass the puck out of a dangerous area to another spot. You should probably take the shot if you have an opportunity. So that's my biggest concern is the fact that he's not shooting as much, and that's why he's not getting the points.
You know how I feel. When he didn't get that hat trick
Well, you called him
Seattle
out. Yeah.
to start the season, I felt as though the things would start to unravel.
Yeah, they have.
And I believe we have seen that. Now, Jamie doesn't want to acknowledge that, but if Kyrou puts the biscuit in the basket as opposed to hitting the post, we're having a much different conversation right now about Jordan Kyrou.
I mean, you're just being honest, right?
Thank you.
People want honesty. And honestly, that's the problem.
Yeah, sometimes, Marsh. Some people don't want honesty.
Oh, really?
Some people do not want honesty.
No.
They can't handle the truth.
Wow.
Yep.
I actually heard about that in a documentary once.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. I think might have been before my time, but
it was.
That's how good it was.
Yeah.
So
well said.
Yeah.
Question number 5.
From the 505, is Mizzou actually good, or are they really, really, really bad? And to expand upon that, even if Mizzou wins out, do you think they deserve to be in the college football playoff?
Well, there's still a lot of time to answer that.
If they win the SEC championship.
I mean, if they roll, then yes, of course.
Yeah. Are they really, really good, or are they really, really bad?
I think
neither.
Yeah.
Correct. Neither. Yeah. I didn't mean it. No, I just don't. I don't think that they are either one. They're not really, really good. They're not really, really bad. Are they the top 10 team that they were earlier in the year? Probably not. Are they, out of the top 25 at this moment? No. So they're right there. I think you made a good point. If they win convincingly going out, if the things that they haven't done well, the things that haven't looked good up until this point, if they play well, SEC championship game, and they do all of the things the right way going forward, yes, they can be a top team in the country and be in the college football playoffs. If you get thumped by Alabama, you're probably out of the top 25 after this week, which is pretty much impossible at this point, I think, to get back into the college football playoff picture. So you got to have a showing against Alabama. You got to go down there and win. I don't know if it has to be convincingly, but I think you have to go down there and win. I think losing it'll be a bad thing.
I had mentioned this before earlier in the show, but to me, the biggest issue has been there's been no improvement for Mizzou. Now, you lose a game, but lose a game and get better from it.
Yeah,
we've seen the same mistakes defensively. We've seen the same missed tackles. We've seen the same blown assignments. We've seen the same. I mentioned the safeties constantly biting on a route that is designed to get them to bite to leak somebody behind them. I haven't been overly, like Brady Cook showed a lot of grit, on Saturday coming back.
Mm-hmm.
But he hasn't had a great season.
Mm-hmm.
The running game, I think, has been there, but there's like something missing offensively with this team.
If they end the year outside of the top 25, like what is the What is the story of the season? Is it like that Drink won the offseason and won the press conference, but his team couldn't win on the field?
Yeah.
Is that the story?
Yeah, created a lot of momentum going into the year. Great recruiting, excellent in the portal, built up a lot of excitement, built up the expectations, all good. That's what he should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, the on-field product did not match the preseason hype, or it hasn't thus far.
Like, it's just not clicking. Like last year following with the Kentucky game, right?
Yeah.
Everything started to click for Mizzou.
Yep.
You could see the offense was going, like, it was like, wow. So when you added these pieces in the offseason and the recruiting and all this stuff, like, you're thinking, if I saw that, like, it's going to be even better this year. And it hasn't been even close. So I don't know how you explain it, to be honest. Yeah, you won the offseason, but the team you had the year before was actually better than the one that you have now, or played better.
Right.
And that stinks because the expanded football, the expanded playoff is this year too. Like, imagine what that team could have done last season if the 12-team playoff was around.
Yeah.
Guess we'll never know.
We'll never know is right.
Question number 6.
From the 618, what team do you believe will discover the next Baker Mayfield / Sam Darnold?
Yeah, so this was my question in the office is, like, you're seeing...
What?
Who?
The Browns.
Okay, go ahead, Anthony. The table's yours. Go ahead.
I cut you off, Jamie.
Yeah, you did. So go ahead.
You're taking too long. Browns.
I was trying to lay it out there.
You're setting it up.
Yeah, trying to set it up, Anthony, so that we could all
You're
play.
taking too long. It's about 7 seconds. Browns, go, Jamie.
Can you explain Can you explain the question, Jamie, so I can have a better understanding?
If you don't want to participate, just back away from the mic.
No, who's gonna be the next team to find that?
Yeah, the Panthers.
Yeah, it's gonna be the Browns.
Oh,
no, I'm talking about these top picks that get picked up in the draft. They go to terrible teams, whether it's the team or the coach or whatever, and they basically get run out of town. Like Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold. I mean, take your pick of quarterback like Zach Wilson and all the stuff. So are teams going to now have scouting staffs watching certain quarterbacks that might be able to operate well in their system and then go get those quarterbacks? Like, so who's the next guy for that?
So is
it Zach Wilson? Is somebody sitting there going, if Zach Wilson's available, we can make Sam Darnold out of Zach Wilson. We can make Baker Mayfield out of Zach Wilson. Or you said
it would have to be an organization that is competent, a head coach and coaching staff that is competent and able to kind of make that transition for that player to get them together and get them right. I would be if I'm looking at an organization that could do that, it would be the Los Angeles Rams, because you're probably looking at Stafford. I don't know how much more time he has left in his career, and who would that quarterback be? Would it be a Bryce Young, or would it be a Zach Wilson? Would it be a player like that you're looking at that is a backup on somebody's roster, and you're saying, if we get that guy on our team, we could fix him. We can make this better. And that's really the only team that needs a player like that and that is qualified to help make that transition smoother for a player like that. We've seen the Rams do it. They did it with Baker Mayfield. Like, they helped.
They have Darnold too?
They didn't have Darnold. No. Darnold went to San Francisco.
San Francisco, that's right.
But San Francisco doesn't need a quarterback in this moment.
Darnold went to. Were you asking if Darnold played where?
In L.A. with the Rams.
No, yeah. I get that mixed up all the time. I
think that would be, for me, I'm looking at this like teams that could potentially be in a need for quarterback in the future and have the competent coaching available. Maybe the Steelers as well. I mean, I don't know what Russell's situation and Justin Fields' situation looks like after this year. So there are only a couple of organizations where you could say, yeah, you can get better there.
Yeah.
And
I threw out the Browns because Kevin Stefanski's actually done very well beyond Deshaun Watson.
But
Joe Flacco stepped right in. You saw that his offense worked with Joe Flacco.
Any offense works with Joe Flacco.
Sure.
You know what bothers me? You want to know what really grinds my gears? You might be right, because I'm watching the damn Indianapolis Colts unable to throw the ball. I'm like, why is Joe Flacco, where are you when you need him?
That was a horrible moment for you. You probably felt like you needed to go take a shower.
Bad.
He's finally on board, Jamie.
Joe Flacco is actually throwing for 300 yards.
Yeah.
And, Anthony Richardson is like, I'm going to run this ball, baby.
Yeah.
No, you got receivers.
It's a pass play.
It doesn't matter.
Anthony, it's a pass play.
I'm bigger than the DBs. I run them over.
I'm gone.
Yeah.
That's
Anthony,
awesome.
you've missed half the games that you've worked half the games you've
Stop running
started.
into people, man.
You know you're big. So are they.
They're big, too.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
All right, it's Fastlane on 101 at ESPN. Jamie's NFL Week 7 game notes next. So my guy Jamie Rivers here told me last week that our guy Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage Corporations, he made it the easiest to get a home, get a loan, get closed within 2 weeks. He goes, Jamie said it was the easiest process. Here's the thing. Stewie just didn't do it because it was Jamie. That's what Stewie does across the board for anyone that gives him a call on his personal cell phone number. When you're looking for a loan on a home, or maybe you got your dream home already picked out, you don't know how to pay for it though. Call Stewie. He's got ideas. He did it with Jamie. He'll do it for you. Maybe it's a debt consolidation problem. Maybe it's a refi question. Stewie's there to help, and he's going to help save you a ton of money. And like for you, Jamie, it's going to be done in the easiest possible way.
Yeah, it was such an amazing experience, and Stewie did such a good job that both real estate agents that were part of the transaction are now going to use Stewie. They were amazed at how quickly he was on top of things, and Stewie's team that he works with, him and his son and other people that work over there, they follow up with the emails and they explain everything. Because when you're buying a home, there's a lot of paperwork, a lot of stuff that's confusing. No, they made it super easy to get through all of it, and it really was an amazing experience. And I want that for our listeners. So if you're in the market right now, like Anthony said, whether it's debt consolidation, credit card debt, or anything like that, call our guy Stewie. His personal cell phone number is 314-324-4440.
Again, 314-324-4440.
Call him, text him. I watched him personally walking, doing things and talking, and he's answering texts as we're going. And hang on a second, I got to take this call. You won't regret giving him a call. And if you can't remember that number or you didn't catch it in time, Anthony, what can they do?
You can always Google the Bagel Loan.
NMLS number 226715.
Fastlane on 101 ESPN 504. Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Do we ever figure out, like we say, let's get nasty at 2 o'clock? Do we ever figure out what we wanted to do at 5 o'clock?
I thought it was let's get spicy.
Let's get spicy.
Yeah, I like that.
Should we try that?
But then what's our return music for it, though?
Yeah, because it can't be this.
Like, it's got to be a banger.
Yeah.
OMG.
Well, Marsh has got it.
Oh,
Marsh can bang.
he can.
Yeah, I can bang with the best of them.
Yeah. So why don't you get us a banger?
Okay.
So that we can get spicy in the 5 o'clock hour.
But it has to be a banger that has, like, that climax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, when we have our open, you know, he goes, wait, and then, you know,
Yeah.
let's get that. Like, it's got to have that.
Let's get
It's
nasty.
like bang, 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 bang,
want it
climax.
do you want
Bam.
like
You hit him
a
with the let's get spicy.
like a drop where it's like like one of those things?
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Like
That's what Jamie's saying.
Let's get spicy. And then it bops. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
So start thinking about that.
Okay.
And tomorrow at 5 o'clock, we get spicy.
Okay.
All right.
But that doesn't mean we can't get spicy now, though.
Well, we
Just
always
because
get
we
spicy.
say it doesn't mean we can't do it.
Well, 5 o'clock hour is anything goes. If they're listening, hey.
If you're
You get what you
listening,
get.
sorry.
Don't have a fit.
Everybody knows at 5 o'clock anything goes.
Yeah, buddy.
You're a lyrical genius.
Well, I've had
pretty good.
I've had practice.
All right, Jamie, your NFL Week 7 game notes.
Okay, so first one on my list here is the Green Bay Packers. I doubted this team last week against the Texans. I thought the Texans were going to take them to Pound Town, and they didn't. Okay, Packers are sitting at 5-2. Okay, that's right.
That's actually the Carolina Panthers. I think that's their slogan.
That's
pounding?
Pound
no,
town.
keep pounding is the slogan for
Keep
the
pounding.
It should
That's
be.
the Panthers.
Keep pounding your head
Keep
into
pounding.
that wall.
It should be get
I didn't
pounded.
say I didn't like it.
Your 2024 Carolina Panthers get pounded.
Yes, every week.
It works. It's
Once
just
a week, get pounded.
Yep.
That's probably good for the Panthers.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the Packers. Anyways, 5-2 in their division. It's going to be a tough division. You got the Vikings and the Lions that are playing really good football, but the Packers are right there. And watching them this weekend, it's just a good team. I think the Packers are a really good team. Watching Jordan Love play is fun. To think back to, when he first took over the job for Aaron Rodgers, he didn't know how that was going to go. I don't think anybody knew how that was going to go, but he's doing a heck of a job. So I got the Green Bay Packers, to me, are going to be a playoff team this year. What they do from there, I don't know. But when you guys watch the Packers right now, like, are they top 5 team in the conference?
Oh, yeah, definitely in the conference.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say that in the conference.
Yeah, definitely in the conference. I think,
like, take the record and just, don't look at it. But when you see them play and the way they play...
It might be the second best team.
They might be.
The NFC North heading into this week had the highest point differential out of any conference or division in football itself. So, if you want to throw the Bears in there too, I can understand why you're a little skeptical on the Bears. But looking at the numbers, all 4 of those teams are some of the best teams, at least in the NFC.
Yeah, it's the best division thus far. One of the things that we don't talk enough about about the Packers is their defense. I talked about this earlier. I thought C.J. Stroud looked very human on Sunday, and you got to give credit to Green Bay the way that they were rushing him. And then Carey, come to find out, Carey mentioned it. He threw for 83 yards. Stroud did. So that defense, same defense that we saw going to Dallas last year, and take it to Dak and company. That was one of the youngest defenses in the NFL last season. So they come into this year, they add a couple of pieces, and lo and behold, that's one of the better defenses in the league. We keep talking about Jordan Love and all the weapons that he has, but I think they're a complete team. I think Matt LaFleur's doing a really nice job. And for some reason, probably because of the Love injury, doesn't it feel like the Packers kind of flying under the radar this year?
Totally. That's why I brought them up. Because I look at the standings and the record, I'm like, holy crap.
That's a really good team.
They're the only division that all 4 teams are above 500 in football. The division is
stout.
Very, very good.
Yep.
So...
And it's amazing what Jordan Love was able to do with the receivers Aaron Rodgers couldn't figure out.
That's crazy, huh?
Yeah, that is.
It's kind of crazy how Aaron Rodgers looks now, huh?
Oh, boy, does he look
It's amazing how much those receivers got better.
Maybe they
despite not having Rodgers' guidance.
Maybe they were already good?
What?
And he wasn't?
Maybe.
What?
It's Aaron Rodgers you're talking about.
I will say,
he won a Super Bowl 13 years ago.
When you do add another high-level receiver like Devontae Adams, it allows a guy like Garrett Wilson to get open more. Now, he's got to catch the football. He needs to catch the damn football and not line up off sides or commit false starts.
Oh, boy.
That was, in fairness to Rodgers, that one that he threw to Garrett Wilson, the one that bounced off of him and straight to a Pittsburgh defender. That was bad. That throw was
so
that changed the game, in my opinion.
I do think Bishop got a fingertip on it before it hit Garrett Wilson. You can see his finger kind of get tipped back and hit Garrett Wilson. Just saying, it happened, and he was able to pick it off.
That was one of your wide receivers.
I would say catch the damn ball.
Thank you.
However, if the ball is tipped, I do know it changes the trajectory and how it's spinning or how it comes towards you.
Gary, you're right. Hit him in a bad spot.
Hit him in the hands.
In the hands.
They can't do that.
Yeah. Life.
All right, number 2 for me is the Detroit Lions, and I've come to the conclusion of something that applies to the Lions. If they win, if they go all the way and win it this year or get to the NFC Championship again, it's going to be because they're playing Dan Campbell football. If they lose, it's going to be because they're playing Dan Campbell football. And what I mean by that,
fake punts.
Wrong. The fake punt on your side of the 50 early in the game. Like, what are you doing? Like last year, going for it all those times. Like, what are you doing? Like, it's Dan Campbell. But this team thrives because Dan Campbell trusts his team so much, and the players seem to love it, except for when it goes awry in the NFC Championship game. You're like, okay, how many times can Dan Campbell it up and the players still be on board?
Yeah.
Like, at some point, he's going to have to, put the shock collar on and just have somebody zap him a little bit, because the decisions are courageous and fun, but maybe not the best decisions to win football games.
Players got to execute.
They do, yeah. That snap right to the guy who had a guy on him right away. That's totally the player's
should have
fault.
snapped it faster. Should have scored 3 goals in that first game, Anthony. If you're Jordan Kyrou.
That's right.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Yep, you're
that
right.
fake punt was terrible. There was no execution there. The defense was on top of that guy before he even touched the ball.
He almost had to run right into a defender.
He does, yes.
He almost had to run right into a defender. That play went right into the defense.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, one great.
So that's kind of what I've come up with when it comes to the Lions, because they're a great team. Those players absolutely love playing for Dan Campbell, the atmosphere they have in their locker room, all that stuff. But at some point, when the coach risks it and the season's over, So my last one is the Cleveland Browns. We've kind of talked about this a little bit here, but what do you if you're Kevin Stefanski, what are you doing now? You've been given this
anything you want.
Well, yeah, but you've been given this quarterback that you really can't play. He's not playing now anyways because of his Achilles, whatever. But door number 2 is Jameis Winston, which is fine. But I don't know if Jameis Winston's carrying your team into a playoff race, and that 1-6, they're probably not doing that anyways.
Yeah, no.
But does Kevin Stefanski end up losing his job after this season?
Well, I wonder.
And if so, can you, as the ownership or the general manager, can you really look him in the eyes and say, you did this when I gave you a quarterback with $230 or $240 million guaranteed and forced you to play him?
Anybody with eyes that has watched Deshaun Watson play knows it's not on the coach. If you watch football, and I think to me it's probably a little bit more frustrating for the Browns because they just got Nick Chubb back yesterday. His first game back, scored a touchdown. That would have helped Deshaun Watson being able to run the ball. Probably have some 8-man boxes, maybe one less person in the secondary. Now you can make those throws. It didn't help that you got rid of Amari Cooper, but you may have been helped in that regard. Now, I mean, I wouldn't. Kevin Stefanski, 2-time coach of the year. You can't fire him for Because you saw what he did when he had comparable quarterback play.
I know.
When he had quarterbacks that
But he's
could
1-6 right now.
Yeah, well, his quarterback was not playing well.
I know.
I think if you're Stefanski and Jameis Winston plays fairly well, maybe you don't make the playoffs, but maybe you win 7 games and you have a positive second half of the season. I think if you're the ownership group, you're like, okay, if we get our head coach a competent quarterback, we're probably a playoff team.
Yeah, but then the owner goes, I got you a competent quarterback that's costing me. It's costing me, the owner, a boatload of money.
I'm sorry.
That's his fault.
That you feel that way.
I'm just saying, ultimately there will be a conflict because you got a guy that's got all this money owed to him and he's counting on your salary cap and you can't play him. You don't have to play him right now. I know he's injured, but when he does get healthy, what do you do?
Yeah.
By the way, can we give a round of applause for Doug Peterson for keeping his job and back to the States, baby? Back to the States without getting fired.
If you're Shad Khan, you're watching the Patriots take a 10-0 lead on you in London. Are you walking down? Like, are you halfway down from your suite?
I think he started typing up the email.
Yeah.
You know how they say type the email but don't hit send?
Yeah. Dear Mr. Peterson, this is an absolute joke that you're losing to the... And then he just kind of backspace. Yeah. Jaguars look good. Against Boston College,
Hey, there's nothing wrong about beating a Boston College team. Nothing wrong with it.
If you're...
My Week 7 notes are next on 101 ESPN.
If you're in the market for replacement windows, whether it's just that your old windows are old or maybe you're just trying to upgrade your windows, head over to Window World. They're simply the best for less. Preferred window of your St. Louis Blues as well. Let's not forget that Window World windows are one of the 2 windows with the Good Housekeeping seal of approval. These Window World windows are great. They're the double strength glass that gives it a strength not commonly used or found in replacement windows. I stood on a window in the showroom. It did not break. I was amazed at how great the window was. They also give you a lifetime warranty on those windows. They cover all the parts of glass breakage and the labor. And you're going to be thrilled with the customer service that you get. The technicians get in there, they measure everything, they answer any questions that you have. Then they custom order your windows, and when those windows come in, they install them, and you will love your windows from Window World. And you'll also love the fact that they're still offering 36 months famous cash financing with approved credit. All you got to do is give them a call. When you call them, tell them Jamie from 101 ESPN sent you. That qualifies you right away for 4 Blues tickets to an upcoming game. And that number is 314-993-1800. That's 314-993-1800. Or you can always visit windowworldstlouis.com.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN, my Week 7 game notes. So Jamie talked about his Lions. To me, the Lions are the team to beat in the NFC. I'm not going on a ledge by saying that, or out on a limb, I should say.
No.
I mean, the Lions,
it's a good team.
Top to bottom, excellent. The loss of Aiden Hutchinson is that's brutal. But
Max Crosby will be there soon.
There you go. What? You went into Minnesota yesterday and beat an undefeated team. Didn't necessarily play your best at times, but they made big-time plays. Jahmyr Gibbs, huge play. Amon-Ra St. Brown, big plays. Defense came up big a couple of times. That's the team to beat in the NFC. 49ers were that team, but Carey talked about it in his game notes. They're so banged up. They don't look like the same team, the 49ers. So, Lions are the top team to beat in the NFC. Vikings will still have something to say about that, but for now, to me, it's the Lions, it's the Vikings, and then it's the Packers. Top 3 teams in the NFC North.
Yeah.
You guys got a different ranking on that?
No, I mean, you put Philadelphia in the 3rd spot behind the Vikings, I wouldn't argue with you.
You're still on the Philly train.
Eagles, yeah.
I don't think they're good.
You don't have to.
I think they're fine.
Frauds.
I think they're fine. I think they're Fastlane fine.
You don't like your running back rush for 170 yards?
I guess the Giants. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I have no control over who's on the schedule, Anthony. We just play who's there.
Vanderbilt beat Ball State on Saturday. We're not giving them credit for that.
They also beat Alabama.
I'll give them credit for that.
Okay.
But who is that team that Phillies beat where you're like, oh, yeah, there is the
Packers.
Philadelphia Eagles.
Why do you roll your eyes? Why roll your eyes?
They didn't play well.
No, he did. He was there. It was his first game of the year.
The defense, first of all, the grass was terrible.
Oh, goodness gracious.
The Eagles' defense
played on the grass.
stunk.
You know what? I forgot. They put the grass out only when the Packers were playing and not the Eagles.
You watch that team? They lost to Kirky Cousins. Come on.
Play call where Saquon Barkley should have caught the dang
dumb play call.
It was a great play call.
Great play design, dumb play call.
It was a great play call.
Run the ball. Defense stinks,
ball.
Coaching sucks. That's your Eagles. Okay?
The Eagles had like 8 sacks yesterday.
Defense stinks, coaching sucks.
The Eagles
Your
had like
2024
how many
Philadelphia
sacks? They had
Eagles.
like 8 sacks yesterday.
Against Daniel Jones?
That's hard. That didn't make the rules. They actually did have 8 sacks. I thought it was like 6. They had 8.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Hey,
he doesn't like anything today.
He's an angry elf today.
I like the Chiefs. You still down the Chiefs, Gary?
Yes.
They
just keep winning, so I can't really say anything.
Unbeaten. Went on the road.
Even if I don't believe in them,
think you had the Niners yesterday, didn't you?
No, I had the Chiefs.
So you believe?
I believe that they will beat the 49ers.
So you believe overall?
Do I think that they're going to win the Super Bowl?
Yes. They haven't lost.
They haven't.
They still employ Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid.
They do.
That defense is still stout.
It is.
How many times yesterday, Brock Purdy deep in Kansas City territory? Pick.
Brock
They're
Purdy was
opportunistic.
throwing to me and you
They're
out
not
there.
even. The Chiefs aren't even healthy either. They're not even healthy, and they're still beating teams. You got to get on board, Carey.
I can't.
Before this train
I won't.
leaves you.
It can take
And I'll
off.
tell you what, as I'm being dragged again, I'm not reaching out my hand. Okay? I'm just going to get dragged by that Kansas City bandwagon.
You think that this is sustainable?
Yes.
No.
I've seen it. I've had
You
the same
haven't seen-
conversation year after year about the Chiefs.
Well,
Same
last year,
conversation.
we had this conversation last
They
year.
don't have enough receivers. They win a Super Bowl. They lost Tyreek Hill. They won a Super Bowl.
You know they did have. They had a number 1 receiver who you don't think is a tight end in Travis Kelce, who is not playing like a number 1 anything at this moment.
Passing on the ball.
No, they are. They threw
And
it
they're
to him
still
7
winning.
times.
It's not about the damn wide receiver. If you like the receiver, so the Jets should be your favorite team. How they doing? You love the wide receiver. Jets, outstanding wide receivers. How you feeling now?
He's on a roll today, man. He's on a roll.
You got it. I apologize.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Anthony
Okay.
must have had a good sleep last night.
I'm out. Yep.
Carey.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right.
No problem.
Speaking of the Jets, Aaron Rodgers experiment has already failed. It's over. That thing is done.
I told Anthony something, Carey, in the office before the show, and I said, Anthony, when I look at Aaron Rodgers, do you know what I see?
What's that?
He said a couple of snarky things, and I go, no, honestly.
Doesn't sound like me.
And I said, I look at Aaron Rodgers, and I see me when I was at the end of my career. Because you think you're doing so good, but you're not. You're old. You're slow. You're second late to everything. And I'm watching Aaron Rodgers, and he's got this befuddled look on his face all the time, like, I can't believe that didn't work.
Yeah.
Or I can't believe I missed the receiver. No, buddy, watch the video. You look like you're 107 out there trying to play the game. You can't make those plays anymore.
Yeah. It's the footwork that I watch. Like 10 years ago, I could watch Aaron Rodgers throw the ball, 1 foot on the ground, no feet on the ground. Like he's still attempting to do those things, and his body is not cooperating. His brain is saying, you got this. His body is saying, hell no, you don't. Plant your feet, step into the throw, sir. And he's not able to because he wants to still do all of the things that he's done his entire career, which have made him an elite quarterback. But as we all know, our bodies change as we get older. Mm-hmm. You feel a little bit different, Jamie. You
do.
You said you have to have weight sometimes just to bend over. Just to.
This is true.
Some mornings your back won't even unlock.
That's right.
I'm the same way. I got tape on my finger for 2 weeks. I don't even know what happened.
You put all that gunk on your elbow
every other day.
Yeah,
like
smells terrible.
I haven't blocked anybody in 15 years. I like it every day.
You know what you can do, Carey?
What's that?
Honestly, when you're
what do you got?
You're getting older and you feel like you're unable to do things, all that. Mm-hmm. Visit our friends over at Mentality.
2 locations.
2 locations, South County and Chesterfield.
All right, we've got biggest question of the day next on 101 ESPN.
All right, guys, girls, listen up. If you love sports betting, you'll absolutely love the Circa Sports Illinois app. And it is designed with the exact same model and everything that they have at their hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada. Derek Stevens, who is the owner of the casino, good friend of mine, and he told me a long time ago, he had a vision to have the world's largest sports book, and he made it happen. Now he's got the largest sports book at your fingertips. It's like old school Las Vegas. It's just great to use the app. There's no promos needed either. They don't have to be giving you anything. No, the best part about it is the promo, is the price and the payouts that you receive. They've got tight money line splits. You're always getting the best odds out of any app. It's the ultimate sports betting app that brings the tightest money line splits right to your fingertips. There's no betting limits either. They got exceptional customer service with human beings, not computers or recordings. You actually talk to somebody. It's user-friendly. You can bet on your favorite teams, your favorite players with ease. It's sports betting the way it should be. So please get on the website or find them on the App Store. Download the Circa Sports Illinois app today. You will absolutely love it. If you or someone that you know may have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Blues pick up a win over the weekend, 4-3 over the Carolina Hurricanes. They'll take on the Winnipeg Jets tomorrow, and you can listen to that game right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. Also over the weekend, City SC lost to Minnesota. They finish off the MLS regular season with 8 wins, 13 losses, and 13 draws. On Friday, we'll have Game 1 of the World Series as the Yankees will take on the Dodgers. Congratulations to former St. Louis Cardinal Tommy Edman as he was named the NLCS MVP. Tonight on 101 ESPN, we have Monday Night Football as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will take on the Baltimore Ravens. Pregame starts at 6:30. If you've missed anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 mobile app. Just head to the podcast page and you'll find all of our interviews and full shows there. It's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. We have our biggest question of the day coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's time for the Fast Lane's biggest question of the day.
Time for the biggest question of the day here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, and Anthony Stalter. Go ahead, Marsh.
All right, gentlemen, what are the differences between Doug Armstrong and John Mozeliak when it comes to filling in the pieces after a down year? Of course, we saw what the Cardinals did this year in filling in those pieces with veteran leadership. And the Blues were aggressive in the offseason for the most part when it came to the offer sheets, and we've seen a lot of success so far from those players. So what are those differences?
Where do we start? How much time have we got?
It's not about spending. It's about spending wisely. And Doug Armstrong has had his mistakes, too. It's no GM or president is perfect, but I feel as though that the conversation when it comes to the Cardinals and Mo is often centered on, like spending. He's got to spend. He's got to spend. He's got to spend. It's not about spending. It's about spending right. And Mo has often, in my opinion, gone for the obvious safe choice when it comes to the market, and he doesn't take a lot of risk, and it winds up costing him when it comes to filling out his roster. Like Lance Lynn, maybe it's just a budget thing. Maybe after he knew he wanted a certain amount for Sonny Gray, and he knew he needed to fill out the rest of the roster. So Lance Lynn, cheap, wants to be here, good. Could you have rolled the dice on a Severino? Could you roll the dice on a Sean Manaea? Could you roll the dice on somebody else that maybe had more upside? That would have been just a little bit more. So to me, it's not about spending. It's about spending wisely. And I think Army takes more risk, and I think he spends wiser.
Yeah, I'm going to take the money right out of it. To me, it's just evaluating what your team needs and then getting those pieces, the proper pieces. Is having a plan and executing it, having a plan and communicating it. Like, where do you, especially in the last couple of years, you can't compare the two. Both teams missing playoffs for a couple of seasons in a row. One team feels like it's in a tailspin, which is the Cardinals. To now they're going with a youth movement, and they don't know they're going to be cutting salary, not sure who's staying, who's going. It's like, I don't really know what's going on or how to fix it.
Here, you deal with it.
Army put a plan in place, basically told the fan base, hey, this is going to hurt a little bit right now, but we're looking to get back on the rails as soon as possible. And look at the people that he's added. Mm-hmm. Look at the youth that he has added in the last couple of seasons, and more on the horizon. The Dalibor Dvorskys, Lindstein, Snuggerud. Like, this is a team headed in the right direction, and I believe it is because of the guy who makes the final decision. It feels like he knows what he wants to accomplish with this team, and to me, that's the biggest difference.
Yeah, I think Army did a great job of, he talked about it. We're going to add competition, as opposed to where there has, in my opinion, not been much competition in the Cardinals staff, in the Cardinals rotation, in their lineup. Like, Someone's like, this is where we are, this is what we got, this is what we're going with, and that's it, that's all. Mm-hmm. And if those guys don't perform, then it doesn't go well. I think that's one thing. And then I also think, Army is he feels like he's talking to you, and he's in it with you, and at times it feels like Mo is talking at you.
Yeah.
And
at
just
times?
I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't want to say always. I try not to speak in definitive terms. Jamie, I learned in therapy you shouldn't do that. So that's
I'm still working on
it. There's no always in therapy.
Never. Yeah,
always, never.
Not definitive. So sometimes doesn't speak to you in a way that makes you feel like you are part of what's going on. It's kind of talking at you. So I think just the fact that Army is willing to acknowledge that things needed to be better and things are going to get better. And sometimes it felt like Mo is just saying, it's good. We're good where we are. Yeah, we're not good where we are. We need more.
We got a text from the Air Comfort Service text line from the 314. The Blues ownership, though, doesn't seem like it's tying Army's hands either.
It may be part of it.
Okay, but the salary cap ties Army's hands. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter. Like, if Army wanted to go get Connor McDavid, well, in the ownership, Tom Stillman say, hey, go get him. No, you can't, because you don't have salary cap space.
But at least the ownership wants them, for the most part, to spend to the cap, whereas other teams don't end up doing that. So that by doing that, you're at least showing that you are trying to compete.
I think the Cardinals do have a salary cap.
They have a budget.
There you go.
Yeah, which essentially is a cap.
They have a certain amount.
A self-imposed cap.
Yeah. This is where we're not going above this. Figure it out.
Right.
And, you got to work with what you got.
Yep. And unfortunately for the Cardinals at times, from a front office standpoint, working out with what you got, it's not good enough. Not even close. All right, it's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Don't forget, we got Bucks, Ravens tonight. 2 Monday Night Football games, boys. And if you were wondering, when it comes to the Fast Lane Rizzuto Show Pick'em Challenge, refreshed by Bud Light, we're up by 2. We're up by 2. We need either a Ravens victory or a Cardinals victory tonight. Either one will do.
Okay.
If a Bird team wins tonight, we win.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Birds.
If the 2 Bird teams lose, it's a tie, which then goes into a tiebreaker.
To which we don't know anything about.
We know nothing about it.
Never know.
We know nothing about the math, the algorithm. We have no idea how the tiebreaker works. We just wake up in the morning and figure it out.
Yep.
But again, go Birds.
Yes.
Tonight. Yeah. If Marshy would have just picked the Chargers, we would have been good. But he had to be different.
He picked the Cardinals?
Yep.
Okay.
Had to be different.
Why did you do that?
Well, Anthony, maybe if you... never mind.
Didn't flip to the Seahawks?
Oh.
The greatest team known to man?
Yeah.
But that actually helped.
That did help.
Yeah.
Truth be told, I also flipped from the Steelers to the Jets. So if I'm being honest, I too, Marsh, screwed us. I know. You were on the Jets, too.
I know, but I don't hate Aaron Rodgers like you do.
I know. I felt...
Shame on
how dirty did you feel doing that?
Well, I felt real good in the first half when I saw Russell Wilson throwing at everybody's shoelaces. I felt real good.
Shame on you.
It's called a shoestring catch, Anthony.
Not the way he was throwing it. But in the second half, boy, I was praying for the sweet release of death. After watching Aaron Rodgers, knowing I had him, do Aaron Rodgers-like things.
Yeah, shame. Was not great.
We did get a text about being nicer to Rodgers, and we should like lift them up and positivity for Aaron Rodgers. So I'll say this. I will say this.
Do you want me to read it, by the way?
Yeah, please. You got it?
From the 314. I didn't know he switched his phone number. Here we go again. Trash talking Aaron Rodgers. Just stop it. We should all be pulling for him. We should all put a bunch of that positive energy into the universe for Aaron. Thumbs up.
First of all, we don't have a lot of positive energy on this show. But go ahead, Anthony.
Yeah, no, I got it. Here's the thing about Aaron. One, he's got a Super Bowl. Okay? That's number one. Number two, He's got a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He's got a Super Bowl ring. You cannot take that away from him.
That's 1 and 2. You have anything else?
He's got an NFC championship under his belt.
Yeah, he had one one of those.
Yeah, 4 MVPs.
Oh, yeah, he's got the 4 MVPs. Yeah.
Boy, back in the day, he was good.
Wasn't he? Man. Wow. Do you remember when Rodgers was really good?
I do. It's been a while, but I do.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
That's great.
Nice.
You know what, though? I feel like this person's being pretty genuine, too, because the text before that is shout out to Carey's Illini. Looks like they're one of the top dogs to me. Better than Mizzou. I sure wish they would play each other.
Might get it in a bowl game. Maybe get it in a couple of years.
Spreading positivity. I'm positive that Aaron Rodgers is one of the smug. Never mind. You did it, Jamie. You did it.
What?
You let me go. You should have handled this. You're better at spin rate than I am.
Yeah, but you speak from the heart, Anthony.
I certainly do.
Yeah.
All right. Bet the board's next. We've got, you know what we do.
Now he's just mailing it in.
I mean,
who is this guy?
Do I really have to go? We bet the board. 3 stars of the day.
Criticisms, compliments.
Criticisms and
People
compliments.
need to know. What if it's their first time listening?
You're right.
Anthony?
You're right. You always play to the first time listener, Jamie.
The first timers. Yep.
Yep. It's everybody's first time. Always.
At some point.
Absolutely. That's all next on 101 ESPN.
All right, are you thinking about remodeling your kitchen, your bathroom, or maybe you're creating that outdoor living space that everybody loves to have? If you're doing all of that stuff or any of that stuff, please contact my friends over at E&B Granite. They do such an amazing job, and I've got a couple of projects that are coming up right now. Building the bar in the new house is certainly going to have E&B Granite come in and add countertops to that. Putting an outdoor kitchen outside, they're going to come out and do the countertops for that as well. And why wouldn't they? They've got everything in stock. Unbelievable styles and colors. They've got granite, quartz, marble, even soapstone countertops available. They do such an amazing job, too, of filling you in on how the process is going to work. Then they get to your home, and if you have to rip out any old stuff, they do a great job, but then they put it in, and the result is fantastic at the end of it. You're going to absolutely love it. You can check out all those countertops and talk to somebody down at 6135 Manchester Avenue, or better yet, you can give them a call and book an appointment. That number is 314-645-9300. Again, that's 314-645-9300, and you can always visit them at enbgranite.com.
fun show.
Oh, man.
Which you can listen to.
Yes.
We got the podcast available for you after the show. 101 ESPN mobile app or 101ESPN.com. Podcast is always brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Let's bet that board, Marsh. What's the latest standings?
Anthony, you have 8 points. Jamie and Carey have 7 points.
Wow, they're right up my rear end, huh?
What do you got, Marsh?
I have 3.
Ooh. Better believe it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna take Lamar Jackson over rushing yards, which is right now 50. I think it was like 53. Give me a sec. Lamar rushing 51.5. Minus 110. 51.5. Please and thank you.
Please and thank you.
All right, Carey, no baseball for you tonight, so I know you've been struggling.
It's tough on me. I'm going to go Justice Hill, 10.5 rushing yards. I'm going with the over. Who? It's minus 110.
Justice Hill.
Justice Hill.
Backup running back for your Baltimore
Minus
Ravens.
120.
What do you have rushing here? I could get 10.5 yards.
You got to get the ball.
It's tough with Derrick Henry's in front of you.
It is.
On the old depth chart.
Yeah, I don't like that bet.
Why not?
I just don't like it, Carey.
Sorry.
It's America.
Take the under.
You can take the under.
I'm not doing that. I don't even know who this guy is. All right, Tampa Bay Lightning playing the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight. You didn't take the game, did you?
Nope, I didn't.
That helps me. I'm going to go with the Toronto Maple Leafs in this game. I thought you were going there.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going to go with Nikita Kucherov over a half point on the power play. But now I don't have to worry about that.
I was thinking about him.
You were.
But
I got Craig Berube in the Maple Leafs tonight.
There you go.
I am also going to be watching that game, and I have Willie Nylander over 3.5 shots on goal at minus 110.
Willie Nelson.
Nope, different guy, Carey.
Different guy.
Yeah, different guy. Doesn't play hockey.
Oh.
But we don't. Wait, he might.
He's probably.
Doesn't play professional hockey.
Yet.
Yeah. I just
Got
want to
some other
clarify.
activities going on, but he can do that.
Sure.
Play hockey.
Yeah, why not?
Isn't that ridiculous? There's only one NHL game on tonight.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
That's
crap.
stupid.
What do you think the thought process was? Don't run up into the NFL.
Whatever you do, don't mess with Monday
You know
Night
what?
Football.
We're only going to schedule one game, and it's going to be the best 2 teams. Great matchup. Maybe not the best 2 teams, but like it is a great matchup.
It is.
People will be
It
watching. So
certainly
let's
is.
have it. Happen during Monday Night Football.
Right. The NHL said, what do you got, 2 games? NFL? All right, cool. We'll match you with 1. That'll show you.
That won't show him.
No. Not at all.
He playoff baseball today. When does the game start? Thursday?
Friday.
It's a long time.
Game 1 is Friday.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah, you got a week of
gonna be-
non-baseball.
I don't know how I'm going to make it.
1.5 runs, hits, RBIs.
I got to just hold on.
Yeah.
Just hold on.
Marsh, what do you got for criticisms and compliments?
From 314, thanks for the laughs today. Enjoy listening to you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
We enjoy that you listen.
Yes.
So we did get an apology letter from the gentleman who called y'all idiots.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to read it from the
I think he
314.
was talking to all of us, Marshy.
That's why I said y'all. From the 314.
Him.
You too.
I wasn't talking during that segment.
He's right.
I'll have to go back and
He's
listen.
right.
He may have said something.
I might have chimed in.
Yeah. It was mostly Carey and I.
From the
You're dealing with your
actually,
kids.
Jamie,
Yeah,
you
that's
were on
not
the
my damn
phone, so
kids.
I don't know if you count either.
It's really Carey and I.
From 314, this is the gentleman. Sorry for calling you guys idiots. I obviously don't think you're idiots. You guys wouldn't be where you're at in life if you were idiots. But I don't feel like you're giving Mizzou the respect they deserve for doing nothing but win one loss. Heading into this game with Alabama is right where they should be. They have everything in front of them. Still, everything is still right there for the taking. And I think that they deserve a little bit more respect. I understand what you're saying. The wins have not looked good, but at least they're winning. So anyway, just want to apologize for the idiot's remark. I don't think you guys are idiots. I enjoy the show. Thanks.
Well, thank you. That's
Nice.
nice. You know what? One, you're not wrong. Mizzou has everything in front of them. It is true. They only got 1 loss, so let's acknowledge that. You're right. But we appreciate it. It takes a big person to circle back.
Thank you.
Now, I will say this. I will correct you on one thing. We are where we are because we're idiots.
Well,
can't really do anything else. At least anymore for you guys. But Marsha and I, look, this is it.
Like, we're not doctors. We're not lawyers.
No, God, no.
You know?
Yeah, no, we couldn't.
I'd say yet, but that's not in play.
No, not at all.
No.
Yeah, so this is it.
You guys are lawyers, for one segment on Wednesdays.
And you're a judge, which means I think you had to be a lawyer at some point.
Maybe. I don't know how that works.
Doesn't a judge
How do you become a judge?
I think you do have to be a lawyer.
I think you have to.
I think you have to have a law degree.
That would make sense.
Law degree. Can't wing
You know
it.
what? I just want to be
Can't
a
wing
judge.
it up there.
Yep.
Yeah, but no, we appreciate
need to
you
know the law.
circling back. Wasn't necessary, but we do appreciate it. Thank you.
You guys ready for the 3 stars of the day?
That's your sweet ass we are. Yep.
Our 3rd star of the day goes out to Carey's sunglasses.
Hey. Oh, yes.
Very
definitely.
new, very
Prime.
shiny.
He's got the Steeler Prime
Yes.
sunglasses.
2nd star of the day goes out to a guy that went 3 for 21 with 1 RBI in the World Series. Give it up for Edgardo Alfonso.
Edgardo Alfonso.
The New York
in the
Mets.
Subway Series.
Is that why they did
grab.
Yeah, that is a good grab. That was funny. Hey, Mets had other players. They played.
Yep.
And our 1st star of the day goes out to Gritness.
He showed gritness. I caught it right away, but yeah, gritness.
Gotta have that gritness.
Gotta have that gritness.
You don't have that. You don't have nothing.
Yeah, that's true. All right, we appreciate everybody listening today. Thank you guys. You made it fun. Snake Pit, shout out to you, listeners. Thank you. Appreciate you. We got Buccaneers and Ravens pregame starting at 6:30. So in a half hour, we'll have the pregame of that game. We'll also have that game. You get the 2 Monday night games tonight. Go Birds.
Yes.
Either Cardinals or Cardinals. And then
Cardinals or Ravens?
Ravens. Did I say Cardinals or Cardinals?
Yep, it's okay.
Have I been talking for 4 hours and I'm done? Yeah.
You've been saying a lot of things for 4 hours.
Thank you. Some of it coherent, most of it not. That'll do it for us. For Andrew Marsh, for Carey Davis, for Jamie Rivers, and Anthony Stalter. Thank you. See ya.